In the last episode of While Seattle Sleeps, our coterie, through the skin of their teeth, managed to bring down Duncan McTavish, a long-time antagonist for our coterie as well as the city, and bring some semblance of, I'm not going to say peace, more like order to the city. But now that that is all taken care of, and we're on the cusp of season 4 of While Seattle Sleeps, we're actually going to be taking a little step back in time and getting to see how these normal people, these everyday humans, either stepped or were taken by the darkness. And one more thing before we touch back into that, we're going to have to go ahead and do a little house cleaning. As Acer, we did not take care of one little detail by the end of last time's stream because, well, to be fair, it was a lot. Your final strike on Duncan McTavish, despite being a victory, left a very salty taste in your mouth. That was not a clean kill. And I believe you received 2 stains for that.
2 big ones.
How many empty boxes do you have left? I need you to go ahead and roll me 1 die as we need to see if Acer's humanity was able to stay in check.
Basically success. I'm happy.
Okay, good. So, as we go into our origin stories, this essentially chronologically as these recountings happen the night after. Your conscience is secure. You did what you had to do in the heat of combat. There was no time to be gentle, especially not with Duncan McTavish breathing down your neck in a literal sense. Your humanity is maintained. Hopefully Crescent can start taking notes and catch up too soon. She needs humanity to spare being such a close user of the Oblivion. Alright. So let's go ahead and take a step back in time, shall we? Just so you guys can understand things tonight. There will be very minimal to no dice rolling for tonight. So obviously, blood dice and storyteller dice are not necessarily going to be something in play tonight. Consider the fact that most of this stuff has happened in the past. So come with us now. Get comfy. Grab a snack. Get something warm to drink and bundle up tight. And let's go back to a time before Duncan McTavish. Let's go back to a time when our players had no idea what existed within the world of darkness, right underneath their feet. You see, funny thing about immortal life. For most, life is pretty easy when you stop to think about it. Whether it be luck, gifted good looks, maybe you're born to wealth, or even just simply you're just given the love and respect of friends and family. However, for others, life is messy. Despite those very things, that, my friends, is where our story takes place. Because for some people, despite having everything they could ever want, or everything they could ever need, sometimes things just don't work out. Because here's the funny thing about the world. No matter how hard you try, no matter how close to the very edge you walk, sometimes in the world of darkness, even with the best intentions, it sends you over that edge. For some, kicking and screaming. For others, it's as simple as taking a leap of faith and letting them fall into the sweet, cold embrace of oblivion. And that's where we begin our first origin story. Haley. It's a cold mid-afternoon in Seattle. You've gotten the pleasure of sleeping in as the noon sun begins to peek in through the window of your apartment. The holidays are in full bloom, with it being Christmas Eve and all. Gentle snow flurries down to the ground outside. It's been 4 months since Grayson, or in this case, Mr. Holland, signed off on your approval papers to acquire an apartment. You've been sober. something you're very proud of, despite how far you've fallen. Some of the deepest, darkest places of your life were 4 months ago. But as your flip phone buzzes your alarm, waking you up, an old early 2000s hit song waking you up in the morning, in this case the afternoon, you slowly, your eyes flutter open, letting the noonday sun fill in the space. Look around, your hair is disheveled, total bedhead. Why don't you go ahead and just give us a small description of what Haley's apartment looked like on this very day?
Haley's apartment would probably look like what she could afford at the time, and she's got a pretty modest job now, but definitely not anything too lavish. It's a pretty basic Seattle apartment, pretty high up, so it's got somewhat of a view, but it's not a super I would pay extra for this view sort of thing. But she's got a nice skyline, very minimalistic in the room, just a bed, a nightstand, closet. A very kind of small bathroom. And, yeah, I would say that there's not too much in there. She's been kind of slowly building it up, but at the same time, she knows that she's going to be leaving next year, so she's kind of keeping it pretty barren.
It's kind of what you get for one step above a studio-grade apartment in the city, but there is a certain comfort of being merely a block over from the treatment center, even though most would think it rather odd to be so close to the staff and the head of that facility. You've grown rather close to them. It's kind of hard to find friends out here when you've gone through what you've gone through, but they've really stepped up. You feel that you're better for it. Finally, the world is starting to look a little brighter for you. So, as you kind of shake your head, clear some of the sleepiness out from your body, give yourself a stretch, that mid-morning sun coming through the window. Apartment's chilly. You forgot to turn the heat on last night. Or you forgot to pay the bill. One of the two. How do you get ready this afternoon?
This is Christmas Eve, I'm assuming.
It is.
Or is it the day before?
It is Christmas Eve. You have just woken up from a very long night in one of your many part-time DJing exploits. It's been a long time since you've been back at the mix table, but last night went off without a hitch. It was a very successful evening, and you took home definitely a healthy paycheck as a result. But you were up fairly late.
I would imagine I'm expecting to take it easy today. I have the family dinner, but I'm still debating if I'm even going to that. So since I'm expecting to just stay in, I'm probably just going to lounge around in basic PJs, turn on the TV, and just kind of relax. I'll probably listen to the rain.
Well, as the rain, slush, and snow kind of tickle the glass.
The slush in Seattle, the slush.
Some days it snows, some days it doesn't. But as it kind of tickles the glass outside the window, you get comfy onto the secondhand sofa. It's nothing too bad, a little dusty, but it's comfortable enough as you curl up with a small plate of waffles and syrup, a little bit of hot cocoa to make the morning or afternoon even that more comfortable. Throw on some evening anime, perhaps. Enjoy some of the classics.
Yeah, probably.
A few hours goes by as you begin to get comfortable into this Christmas Eve. You hear a at your door.
For a second, I'm just going to mentally check, did I pay the bill? Wait, no, they're closed on Christmas Eve, right? Okay, fine. I'll get up and I'll go open the door.
You begrudgingly get up and walk towards the door. The moment you open it, a flurry of tightly blonde hair and a bright smile and glasses comes flooding in as two arms throw themselves around you. Haley, Haley, Haley! As Danica, the head nurse at Mr. Holland's facility, has now given you a full hug, and she just gives you a small kiss on the cheek. Merry Christmas Eve! As she pulls back with a big smile. You can see she's all bundled up to the gills in an extra fluffy pink coat. She's wearing almost knee-high rain boots to kind of keep her attire from getting wet. A polka-dotted umbrella underneath her arm. As you can see, there's a big actual, what appears to be a tire bag draped over her other arm as well, as she hugs you very tightly into the wet fluff.
You were in the holiday spirit?
I mean, what's not to be happy about? It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I get that. I thought you would have other plans or something. You didn't say you were stopping by.
I do. I actually am going to a few things with the family and the husband tonight. But here's the thing about it. I know about that little thing going on tonight. Mr. Holland told me you had plans with your family.
I'm still debating that.
Well, I'm here to kick that debate into a success.
And I don't know if it would be really a success or a failure. It's just more of a yes or a no, but explain.
Well, what he was saying is you're going.
Okay, and you're making that decision for me?
Well, yes.
Even though it's a bad idea, mind you.
No, it's a good idea. Haley, listen. As she kind of comes inside, closing the door behind her, the bundle still on one arm, as you can see there's a stack of papers in her armpit on the right side as well. She closes the door and leads you over towards the modest dining room area, kind of sits you down.
Do you need help carrying?
Nope. As she kind of just fumbles in and flops all the stuff onto the bare table.
Okay.
First things first, have you eaten yet?
Just have some waffles and cocoa.
You see, like, she pulls from near her a small bag that has the words Cheese Wizard on the front of it. You sure about that?
You did it!
I did.
Okay. Well, I'm very hungry.
That's what I thought. As she immediately begins taking out some takeout food from the local Cheese Wizards and slides over one of their signature massive helpings of mac and cheese. She sits down in front of you. She has got herself a very interesting looking gourmet grilled cheese sandwich, and she sits down with you as you both begin to happily dig in. After a few moments, she kind of lets some of that cheese settle into your soul. She pipes up. So this is why I say you should go. And I come here as a friend, but I got to put on the job hat for just a second. It's been 4 months. You haven't spent a lot of time seeing your family, and your brother has tried to visit you. You can only say no so many times. Look, I get it. It wasn't an easy process getting to this point. It's good for your recovery, and that's your family. Remember therapy, like a lot of the root of the issues you dealt with is coming from family. You're never going to get over those things, and you're never going to be fully recovered until you learn to deal with it. You can't keep running from all your problems. You know that.
Running, I just don't see a point. This is one of those things that's going to create conflict, and I don't want to be dealing with that. I'm leaving next year, I'm stable now.
Well, speaking of you assuming you're leaving next year, she kind of slides out some of the mail a bit. She does pull out a letter, and on front of the letterhead it does say the Australian Institute for Performing Arts and Music on the front. I got your mail, by the way, and I was doing some time, and I figured it would show up today, probably, and
on Christmas Eve. It probably showed up yesterday, and I just haven't gotten my mail in a while.
Or you still haven't moved your mailing address over from the center.
Right, there's that. I've got a lot on my to-do list. New Year.
I know, new year, new you. But let's do this. I'm gonna make you a bet. I'm gonna bet you got into this school. You worked so hard on your submission tape. It was perfect. I'll make you a bet. If you got accepted, you are going to wear this little number I bought you as a Christmas gift. And you're going to go see your family, and you're going to tell them the good news. If you don't get in, I will stay with you, and I will cancel plans. I'm sure my husband's wants to go hang out with all the boys and whatnot. You know how they are. If you don't get in, I'll stay with you for this Christmas Eve, and we'll have a girls' night, just you and me. If you get in, go have dinner with your family and tell them the good news. I'll get more Cheese Wizards. I'll get some rum.
They're probably closed by now.
I know a little shop on the other side of town that's probably open for another 2 hours. But Seattle, you can always get liquor somewhere.
Fair.
I'm not saying it's an okay thing. I'm just saying it's the holidays.
I don't mind.
I know you don't.
That wasn't my problem, child. I'm okay with that. Sure.
Well, don't tell Mr. Hollander. My job is on the line.
You've been there like barely a few months. Never mind. It's not a big deal.
Point is, sound like a wager?
Sounds like a dangerous bet, but sure.
Shall I open it or shall you? She kind of waggles it in front of your face temptingly.
Can you do it? I feel like the food's gonna come back up. So if you could just, I'll just turn around and you could just tell me.
Okay. She takes one of her light blue manicured nails and she cuts over the envelope. She gives you a bit of a side eye and a smile as she blows the envelope open and flecks out the letter. You hear a snap of the paper as she kind of puts it up very dramatically and okay.
Okay, if you're gonna do that, I'm turning around. I'm not gonna look if you're gonna do that.
Okay. You ready?
No.
Dear Haley, after the board and myself have taken time to look over your application to enroll the Australian Institute of Magic and Music.
Magic.
I'm sorry. This cheese.
That would be so much better.
So looking over your application to enroll into the Australian Institute of Music and Performing Arts, we are pleased to inform you that we are immensely impressed with your talent and we welcome you to join us here in Sydney for the 2007 spring semester. She immediately gets up and just flies over and gives you a massive hug and a squeal. Just you both of them jumping up and down in excitement.
Oh, God.
She spins you around to show you, like, look, see right at the bottom. It says, again, and congratulations. We look forward to having you.
Okay, well, now I'm definitely leaving, so,
A deal's a deal. You got in. Look, you can't force your family's opinions to change. You can't. You can't force anybody's opinions of you to change.
They're not gonna care.
But here's the thing. Let's say you don't go visit them tonight. You don't see them until spring of next year, and then you just leave. Isn't there going to be a small part of you that just regrets not at least seeing how it would end up? You never know. They haven't seen you in, almost a year now because of everything that's been going on. Your brother always tries to visit you, but you keep turning him away despite how hard he tries to get in. They want to see you. So the way I see it is, as part of your recovery and as your friend, you should go see them for the simple sense of A, they're going to be very excited for you, and you can start building that bridge to having that family and connection again. And if they're not excited for you, well, you're leaving in a year anyway, so at least you can put closure on that. But at the end of the day, it's for you. You may not necessarily fix everything that's happened, and you know there's a decent amount that you are to blame for that. But the best thing you can do is try and put it at least a little behind you to invite them to maybe a better future, to show that you're better. That's unfortunately, it's kind of comes to the territory, sweetheart. A little bit of humility will go a long way in kind of owning up to the things that have happened.
All right.
I know.
I still think it's a bad idea, but, deal's a deal.
Terrible or great idea, you get a dress out of the deal.
I mean, I'm not opposed.
I know how much you like red.
And then it depends. You talking about the color or the band?
Both.
Okay. All right. I'm going. Okay, can you just
Fine. She gets up as she picks up the garment bag and she unzips it. You can see it is a beautiful flowing red pleated gown, a bit of sparkle in the chest that really screams the holidays. Not necessarily the highest bougie type dress you could probably afford, but it is definitely within Danica's price range, and it is actually very nice. And it's one of the first dresses you've actually gotten your hands on since you got it clean.
Thank you. It's really nice.
Well, I would hope so. But come on, let's get you ready.
Well, you've got to go do family stuff, so I can get ready. It's fine.
No.
Like,
I have a part 2 to this gift.
a part 2?
Okay, I kind of fibbed a little bit.
Okay. By all means.
I'm going to be staying here tonight. The truth is, she looks a little sad. My husband's away on a business trip. And I kind of just said that's to let me in the door, because I know how you kind of a sucker for sob stories. But I'm staying here tonight because, as she sets down her keys onto the table and slides them over to you, I absolutely refuse spending this much money on a very nice dress only for you to get it dirty on the bus.
What about you, though? Like,
Girl,
you're going to be here by yourself on Christmas Eve.
I'm going to raid your cabinet for popcorn, which I know you've got a stash of in here somewhere, and I'm going to watch cheesy Christmas movies.
I think that's all I've got.
Perfect.
And waffles and cocoa.
You know what? That sounds like a good night to me. Carbs and cheesy Christmas movies. That sounds like a beautiful evening for me.
All right. Well, when I leave this dinner early, because I can almost guarantee you I'm going to be leaving this dinner early, I'll come back here and we can hang out or something, right?
I would sure as hell hope so. But that way you get the best of both worlds. You're going to have a good dinner. You're going to have a great time. And I'll be here to keep an eye on things. You know, stay cozy, stay dry. You're going to borrow my ride. Please don't scratch it. I know the scratches on it, but don't add more to it. But try and enjoy yourself.
Fine. Okay, you win.
I usually
Can I go
do.
change now?
Yes. Let's go. Come on, go. As she kind of throws the dress in your arms, gives you a pat on the butt, pushing you towards the door.
Okay, well, jeez. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Honestly, I'm impressed. Hogwarts doesn't usually take vampires.
Oh, screw you, man. That's what I get for having a bit of coffee, or at least in this case, a Red Bull drink. It leaves my mouth dry, so music and magic, of course.
It's fine. I personally love the fact that I was able to say, "You're a wizard, Haley."
I hate you for that.
Oh, not even I was expecting that, by the way. That is...
To those of the more observant nature, you have to know that my wife likes to go full out whenever she has to do an outfit change.
Oh, yeah, no, you're talking about the same person that I was like, oh, this unexpected scene happened and now Crescent is crying. I'm gonna go put blood tears on myself. It's fun. It
is fun. Everyone's got their own kick for making this game enjoyable.
Oh, that's cool. I don't mind being shown up. That's fine. That's cool.
I'm gonna put on a jacket because it's probably gonna, or not jacket, it's a shawl thing.
Over the next several hours, as you shower, get ready, place on the dress, it fits very nice and it's very soft fabric. Danica definitely takes the time to really just spoil you. She plays your favorite music. She whips up an extra popcorn, even though you guys at this point you couldn't eat another bite. In fact, you're a little concerned either A, the dress may not fit with how much you've eaten today, or you are just going to be too full for an actual dinner. At least that portion you can always politely excuse yourself if you have to.
Which I will.
One thing you did notice, though, is Danica seems overly cheerful, even for her. She's always been a very cheerful individual, based on her number, but she seems to be, every time you guys try to have a conversation about her plans or why she decided to do this, she always gives some kind of, just glossed over answer. You're not stupid. There seems to be something minor, but you just can't seem to draw it out of her. But at the end of it, you do eventually give up. She's always been a steel trap when she wants to be. And with a smile on her face, and she places the keys in her hands. Go on, you're gonna be late. You're gonna be late. Go. I look forward to hearing about it all tonight.
Yeah, talking goes both ways, though. So whatever you're keeping, I expect you to actually talk to me, too.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. All I am concerned about right now is that I have the jewel of the ESSC right in front of me.
Okay, yeah, you're trying to get me with flattery, and it's partially working, but I'm just going to take this and I'm going to go. I'll take the keys and I'll walk out. As
you do turn away, she does kind of put a hand on your shoulder and pulls you into one more really tight hug. She puts a hand on your back. I'm really proud of you, Haley. I'm really, really proud of you. You've come so far. Just don't let whatever could happen take that away from you. You're just trying to close a chapter in your life and moving forward as best you can. For better or for worse, okay? You got this, girlie. She gives you one more tight squeeze before she lets you go. Go, 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 go! And she starts shoving you out towards the door.
Oh, and when I get back, I can talk to you about the person I'm seeing, and I'll shut the door and walk.
You just hear exasperated, oh, no, from the other side of the door.
That's appropriate response. And I will, I imagine that I know what car it is, so I will go down and go to Danica's car, and very nervously making my way to my old house.
You fast forward a little bit as you get into the driver's side of her black 2006 Honda. The engine roars to life, while the outside is got a dent on the driver's side, and the paint is a little scratched up from constant wear and tear. The inside is clean, practically still smells new. It's been a long time since you've been in the front seat of a car. Guess things maybe are turning around for you. You pull out of the parking garage of your humble apartment complex and onto the street. You have to kind of jump the brake for a hot minute. Someone cuts you off very quickly. You have to kind of white knuckle for a moment, just kind of let the anxiety pass. So it's been a hot minute since you've been on the road. But after a small heart attack, and you swear you heard some older lady screaming at you through the window as you pull out.
I swear to God.
You pull out onto the main road very carefully. Driving out towards the outskirts of the city, that gray, blue, cloudy sky of a winter snowfall has begun to shift into a more of a psychedelic fog, as dark blues and orange hues behind those thick clouds muddle and twist in the sky. About 45 minutes later, through traffic and everything else, the wrought iron gate creaks open as you pull Danica's car down the dark stone-paved driveway of your old home abode. The iron-twisted street lamps that dot the landscape of this very well-off home cast a very warm glow over the well-manicured front yard. Even in this colder season, you can tell that your mother especially has taken the time to make sure that the appearance of your home is still manicured to perfection. Not a single fallen leaf or twig out of place. You pull up to the front roundabout. The large, thick wooden door with a multicolored paned window glass glows on the inside, cascading a rainbow of light through the car window into the darkness of the vehicle, sending all types of colors of light blues, reds, and greens, and rambling clears that kind of just blast along the interior like a kaleidoscope. You can even hear the faint sound of muffled voices and gentle music playing from the inside. Welcome home, Haley. It's been a long time since you've been here.
If she was Kindred, she would probably be breaking or bending the steering wheel in half. Just gonna take a deep breath. And then when it's like, okay, now or never, getting out of the car and going to go up, and she knows better than to knock, so she'll probably ring the doorbell.
The very long, obnoxious, generic doorbell kind of goes off on the inside, cascading through the home. Though before the ringtone has even time to end, you hear the very excited sounds of pitter-patter across the tile floor from the inside. Just by the sound of it, you already know who's going to answer that door before you even have time to do anything about it. As the door flings open, you see a bright-eyed Thomas staring up at you like, "You look so pretty!" He immediately rushes out and hugs you as tight as his little arms can get you.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god, you actually came. You actually came. Oh my god, you look pretty.
Thank you. You got tall.
I'm 12 now, sis, and you haven't seen me in a while. That's what you get for not coming to my birthday invitations.
I'm sorry. I was. I'm hoping to change that.
Really?
Yeah.
You see kind of look away a bit shyly. Oh, come on. Mom's making all of our favorites. Come on. As he
Okay,
reaches in and grabs your hand, starts pulling you inside.
Okay, well, okay. I'll just let him. I'll let it happen.
He pulls you on the inside. The interior of your home is comfortably warm. Much different than your own personal apartment that always seems to have a draft no matter what season you're dealing with. Inside is pleasant. There are beautiful holiday smells just mingling within the air of this fine space. You can smell fresh pastries. It's probably a very large signature turkey that your mom always enjoys cooking every single year that you haven't had in, God, who knows how long. Even though you're full, your mouth waters just a little bit, just for the sake of that taste that you haven't had in a long time.
Mom's making turkey, huh?
Duh, she's doing all the stuff. She made turkey. She made your favorite mashed potatoes. She made fresh bread. She even made a cake. Oh, shit. I wasn't supposed to tell you that.
Did you just curse?
I'm 12.
Is that supposed to mean something?
You curse.
No, I don't.
He just stares at you. Don't lie.
All right, so how's this cake looking?
It's white buttercream.
All right, well, don't keep me waiting. Let's go.
He's still holding onto your hand very tightly. He begins walking you through the home. Your mom has redecorated since the last time you've been in. Your family has always been decently well off. Your dad working at a very exemplified law firm and brings the bulk of the money. And your mom actually makes quite a bit of money as a influencer on the internet, cooking, baking, crafts, DIY stuff. For some reason, the internet may have been around for a hot minute, but there's this new thing called YouTube, and it seems to be taking off. But it seems at the very least they're doing well for themselves. The furniture all looks brand new and rotated. You can see several new paintings hanging along the very not beige, more like a Devo light brown type of walls. Very textured, very rough looking. It's very homey. Everything has a very subtle cream and white and ivory palette, a bit of gold thrown here and there. Not necessarily to your taste. It's always been a little bit bougie, but it's nice enough. He does lead you around the corner as you're surprised the entire kitchen has been remodeled from the last time you remembered it. No more is that cramped little corner in this home. It is now a completely open concept where you can see all the way to the fine dining room. There's floor-to-glass windows on one side that kind of works in almost a half-octagonal pattern. You can see the cityscape and the dying sunlight in the distance beginning to glow like starlight. Your dad is currently enjoying what it smells to be a fresh cigar on one end of the table. He doesn't meet his eyes to look at you, but before you have time to react to that, your mom flies around the corner, her light red hair just curled into a full-on Goldilocks-esque style. She is wearing a bright light blue apron with oven mitts, and she just flies around the corner and hugs you so tight. Oh my God, my baby's home! She's home! Keenan, honey, Keenan, she's home! As she just hugs you so tight, clutching you to her.
Wow, there's a lot of hugs.
She pulls you back, holding you, like, of course, we haven't seen you. Oh my God. She twirls you a bit, getting a look at it from the back and front. And I see you got some taste while you've been gone.
It's a gift from a friend. Christmas.
That makes a lot of sense. You're never very good at picking out dresses. You can never find the color that suits you in that gorgeous head of hair of yours. But it looks great.
Thanks. Thomas was saying you made cake and mashed potatoes and stuff.
She's still with a smile on her face. She looks over at Thomas, who at this point quickly looks away and acts like he's not really paying attention to this conversation. Well, I meant for that to be a surprise, but yes.
You should know better than to tell him.
You know what? We had this conversation, didn't we? That we were going to try and keep a surprise for your big sister. Okay, you made homemade buttercream. What was I supposed to do? Not say anything and be a surprise. Sorry.
Miss you guys.
Mommy, we miss you too. How are you feeling?
I'm doing great, actually. Yeah, I mean, I've got an apartment downtown, and Everything's really good right now.
As soon as you say apartment, Thomas is like, Mom, can I go spend the night at Haley's for Christmas Eve, please? Your mom looks down at him and just kind of looks back up at you. I don't necessarily think that's a good idea, sweetheart.
I mean, he can if he wants to. I just don't. I can sleep on the couch and he can have the bed. I've got some video games.
She's got video games, please. How about this? Well, after dinner, we'll talk more about it, okay? How's that sound? Does that sound fair?
It's fair to me.
All right, well, I got to put some things in the oven. Why don't you go sit and enjoy time with your father? I'm sure he wants to hear all about what he's missed. And you guys start getting the table ready. I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah. And I'll go with Thomas over to the living room and sit down.
You sit on the very nice, dark, plush sofa, flattening out your dresses. Thomas sits right next to you. Like, there is no distance between you two. He is clinging to you like Velcro. As he just kind of looks over to you for a moment, smiles, looks over to your father. Dad, he takes another puff of cigar before kind of putting it on the nearby ashtray. Seems he has one of his older books in his hand as he looks up to you. He doesn't smile. Doesn't really say anything. He gives you a once over. What is it, son? Well, aren't you going to say hi? I said hi. Sorry, walk in.
Thomas, it's okay.
But you're here.
So why don't you tell me about school and everything? You got friends?
He's got lots of friends. Haley. He goes out pretty much every other weekend since you stopped returning his calls.
That's good.
Thomas, at this point, his smile begins to fade a little bit, nodding. I might have even got a girlfriend.
You did.
I mean, kinda. Dad says it's a girlfriend. Well, it's kind of what happens, son, when you ask a girl out. Dad, I just asked her to go bowling with me. It's like, is anyone else going with you? No. That's a date. Okay, so, maybe. I don't know. Shut up.
Sounds like you and me need to do a double date sometime.
At this point, your dad looks straight at you. Really?
Yes, really.
And who is this gentleman that Mr. Holland must have approved of that I'm unaware about?
Well, it's kind of recent, so it's okay. I mean,
No, don't be shy. After all, you haven't been gone for a while, hon. Why don't you enlighten us? Who is this boy? Where'd you meet? As now he does lean in, he adjusts the glasses on his face, now letting his elbows rest on his knees.
We met at one of my jobs.
And what do you do as work now?
I mostly do some nights at the theater, and sometimes I'm doing gigs on the weekend for music and such.
Still doing that music thing, huh?
Yeah. It's actually doing really well. I just got accepted into a university for it.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Holland thought it would be a good idea, and I got my credentials together, and I submitted for that.
At this point, Tom's like, wait, what do you mean? You got accepted where? What?
It's a school.
At this point, you hear your mother kind of peek around the corner. Dinner's ready! You see your father kind of shoo him off, like, go help your brother set the table. We'll be along in a moment. Are you sure? I mean, I probably can use the help, Dad. I mean, there's a lot of plates for all of us. Kind of looks up to you, Haley.
I can go help him, yeah.
No, I haven't gotten to talk to you in a while, hon. Go on, Thomas. Now. Thomas kind of looks up to you, looks to your dad. We're kind of nodding and getting up.
I'll be there in a sec.
Okay, I'll stay the spot next to you, okay?
Yeah.
You should see the turkey. It's like huge. And he like puts his arms as far as he can onto each side as he kind of walks backwards. He stumbles a little bit. See one of his nice dress shoes are untied as he kind of you can hear him stumble around the corner as you hear a very long breath from your father. School, huh?
You disapprove?
Well, I don't disapprove of you going to school, but music? Really?
You can do a lot with the music degree.
Yeah, if you want to sing birthday parties or teach people music theory, that is not necessarily a profitable nor enlightening career.
I can do a lot more than that. I'm actually pretty talented with harp, guitar.
Okay, so
Such-
let's just say hypothetically you managed to even accomplish anything at the school. What's your end goal with strings and a harp? You wish to play in a gala, in a orchestra, theater?
I would probably be some touring gigs.
Touring
More for like
gigs, huh? Touring. Okay, so like a band.
sort of, yeah. It'd be more on the electronic music type, but with guitar and everything, like I can actually kind of bring that in more to electric thing and compose my own music that way. It's actually pretty cool.
Have you already figured out what you're gonna do with tuition?
No, I mean I
What
got
about
a
room and
little bit of
board?
I just received the letter.
What about food?
Again, I just received the letter.
Where is the school?
I'm saving up. It's in Australia.
At this point, you hear your mother call, "Sweetheart, dear, come on, before it gets cold. I did not slave over a hot stove to make this gargantuan abomination of a bird for you guys to sit here and let it get cold. All right, Marie, I'm coming. Let's get the shop. Come on, sweetheart." And does get up and begin walking past you towards the kitchen.
I'm silently cursing Danica in my head, and I will go to the dinner table.
The dinner table is massively large, full-on dark mahogany. There's a beautiful crystal candelabra on a wonderful dark red dining cloth that gives very soft ambient light to the dinner before you. And your mom has pulled out all the stops. You can see potatoes, mixed vegetables, fresh baked breads, the whole 9 yards of a Christmas Eve dinner laid out in front of you. You can see off in the corner of the kitchen, there's a very large 12-foot tall Christmas tree with a whole string of lights and decorations. One thing you do immediately notice, Crescent, that kind of hits you on a sour note is you see a lot of decorations on the tree as you sit down. Your mother beginning passing up plates, your dad starting to carve the turkey, some small talk has been initiated. A lot of the homemade decorations you made from your childhood that were on the tree last year and the year before that in photos, not up this year. You see a lot of Thomas stuff, see a lot of new stuff that Thomas made probably from school, some new fancy baubles here and there. A lot of your personal touches are missing. In fact, all of them are.
She looks good.
Your dad leans back as he has poured himself a small little crystal glass of whiskey. Yeah, your brother helped me set it up. We actually went down and chopped it down ourselves this year.
That's awesome. Thomas, you carried that tree back?
Oh, heck yeah. I put that on my shoulder and we carried that like 3 miles uphill. It was snowing like crazy. I got sap all over my neck and I could put like feathers to it and be like a bird man. It was great.
Always the inventive one with stories.
It is kind of sucked though. We couldn't find, the box of your Christmas decorations, sis. Like I wanted to put your stuff up. That one puzzle piece frame of you and me when we were kids. I really liked that one. I couldn't find it.
That's okay. It's okay.
No, it actually really bugged me. Me and Dad looked for hours. Your dad just kind of shrugs. Unfortunately, sometimes things happen when you move. Things get lost.
Well, it still looks great.
At this point, a massive plate of food is given before you, and do you try to eat it all?
I'm probably starting to feel a little bit nauseous at this point, so I'm just gonna I'll eat as much as I can to be polite.
At a certain point, as you've eaten as much as you can, but only a few bites into this delicious turkey, a few bites of potatoes are just mouth-watering, but it's like at a certain point your throat just won't let you swallow anymore, as if the food itself has completely backed you up. You just can't eat anymore, and you do very politely put your fork down, maybe a quarter in your meal, but you're not subtle enough. As almost immediately your mom goes, "Why aren't you eating more? I made all of your favorites."
I know, and it's really, really great. I'm just like, for some reason, my stomach, I just don't have big of an appetite as I used to.
Probably just kind of understandable, given your history. So,
Yeah, but
sweetheart, why don't you go ahead and tell your mother and your brother what you just told me? It's good news. Your mother immediately said, "Oh, right. What happened? I heard some kind of excitement going on."
I got accepted into a school.
That's fantastic, honey. Where at?
It's actually overseas, but it's really well known and well respected.
Overseas. At this point, you can't help but look over to your right as Thomas's head just kind of like looks up to you.
Hey, I'll visit often. You think the ocean's gonna change that? It's okay.
Yeah, of course. We'll make sure she comes home, right? Like, she'll visit every few weeks. Your dad kind of shakes his head. Son, your sister can't really afford that. But you could do it, right, Dad? I'm not going to. What? You hear your mother kind of lean over and kind of whisper as she kind of touches your father's arm. Be nice. No, Marie, it's fair. We're just catching up with our daughter. She hasn't been home in 2 years. Hardly a phone call, hardly a letter. Barely sees her brother. And first thing she tells us about when she comes here is that she wants to pursue her music career as a a touring band member and go get a degree in music. Dear, no. As he takes another sip of this whiskey, I think we have a right to know what's going on with our daughter. You're only 19. We've been working so hard to get you clean, and it's great news to hear that the moment
I'm 22, Dad.
Well, I think we're excited as you see this very pained smile across your mother's face, looking over at her husband for a moment before looking back at you. I think this music thing's a wonderful idea. I was a self-starter myself. Your dad just did not believe that this could be a thing, but look how much success I brought in just doing this whole YouTube thing. You'd be surprised what people like to watch. I'm sure this will work out great for you.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. There's a lot of pathways that I can go with it, so it's not like, I can do a lot with it.
Yeah, my sister's gonna be this amazing rock star, right? She'll come every 2 weeks, come back, we'll visit all the time. She'll tell you all these crazy things. You realize that that's not gonna happen. You immediately smile and mid-sentence just kind of shuts down as your father just kind of continues to chime in, taking another sip of whiskey. Look, Haley, I am proud of you. Based on what Mr. Holland has let us know, you've been on your best behavior. It's good to know that my money went somewhere. Getting you all fixed and whatnot. It does make up for the fact of some of the unfortunate history as a result, so that's good to hear. But let's be real here. You're finally considered clean. Mr. Holland did notify us that you did get an apartment and told us where you live. And I found it in our best interest to give you space and let you come home when you felt ready. But I have to be honest. You, still mingling in that music DJ whatever crowd, working as a part-time job in a movie theater, that's not really conducive for a stable income just for yourself. Now, it's all great and all that you want to go to school, but let's be real. Do you really think in 6 months you're going to be able to save enough money to pay for tuition, pay for supplies, buy a goddamn plane ticket to go across the fucking ocean to go to Australia? And you can't make promises to your little brother like that. You're not going to be able to come home every few weeks. I would be surprised if you're even be able to get there. So tell me, what is your real plan here? What were you thinking? Were you just going to expect mommy and daddy to pay the bill? You dress up nice?
No.
I
just wanted to see you guys. That's it. Well, I'm kind of seeing that maybe that I shouldn't have.
No, we're happy to see you, but you can't blame me for just being a little taken back. Where only 4 months, and while granted you're reaching pretty far, I would expect you to try and pick something a bit more sensible and to understand that the whole reason why you fucking screwed up in the first place is because you were hanging around that crowd in the beginning. Honey, it's fucking true. The moment that she started becoming a DJ, the moment she started getting messed up in this whole music business, that's when she started getting on heroin. That's when she started fucking up.
You know what? We don't need to have this conversation in front of Thomas.
What? I think we do. At this point, Thomas, his head starts to go very low, his eyes looking very wide down towards the table. I think we do need to have this conversation. Because here's the thing. You had plenty of chances to explain it to him. You had plenty of chances to explain that you were sick, that you weren't doing very well. That's why he sent you to Mr. Hollins. That's why he worked his butt off our dollar to fix you.
And I wasn't well enough for that back then. I'm well enough now, which is why I decided to come.
You could have wrote a letter. Do you know how often we had to comfort your mother?
I was
comfort
not
your little brother?
In a good state of mind for that.
And yet, the moment that you're well, your first reaction when you weren't in a good state of mind to make good decisions, so you put that all on all of us, is to now let us know the moment you have a free chance that you're going to run away across the other side of the goddamn planet as far away from us as humanly possible, chasing a pipe dream, when it's that pipe dream that got you in this situation in the first place. I don't really know why I bothered. You know what? I really had hopes, Haley. I had such great hopes when I saw you walking through that door dressed the way you were. I thought maybe she learned some responsibility. Maybe someone as good of a character as Mr. Holland would actually talk some sense in you. But now I realize I've been throwing my money at a fucking con artist. Because at this point, all I see in front of me is you are clean, but you're a walking time bomb, ready to make another fuck up. And the moment that happens, guess who's going to have to take care of it? Again. Guess who's going to go?
You don't have to worry about bailing me out of anything anymore. I'm done. I'm going to get up and start moving towards the door.
He immediately gets up. Don't you fucking turn your back on me. At this point, as soon as you're starting to get up and turn, Thomas just goes. He just looks up, just tears are just going down his face as your mother is just in this twist of shocked expression and just speechlessness. He just looks up to you, shakes his head. Such a liar. As he just takes off, slamming past you, you hear him running upstairs and his door slams. See what you did? You know how exciting it was to see you? This is how you act? You've been gone for what, 2 years? You could think you talk to your father that way?
I don't need to hear this. Shut up!
Don't you dare. As you begin walking toward, you actually hear your father immediately begin getting up, turning towards you, but you hear your mother just let her fucking go. Marie, this wouldn't have happened if you had just let me handle this. No, and immediately you can hear your family starting to bicker as you make your way towards the front door. You could hear as you...
And I'm slamming the door.
I'll say as you do open the door, you do faintly hear the sound of Thomas crying upstairs. You can continue out if you want.
I'm continuing out.
The door slams behind you. At this point, you can hear your mom and dad going full out at this point. You can hear them shouting from outside. Loud enough where you can almost hear the words coming out from those walls. You hear your name tossed back and forth a few times.
I'm going to keep my hand on the handle. I'll open it back up quietly, and I'll make my way upstairs to Thomas's room.
As you make your way quietly across the room, trying your best to without people, you do hear overheard your mother. Damn it. This is what happens every time you fucking drink. You know, I've had enough of it. Where do you think she gets it from? You blame her for everything, but it comes from fucking you and your habits. Don't you talk like that to me. As you begin making your way up the stairs.
I'll make my way to Thomas's room and just lightly knock.
You knock very lightly. You could hear the sound of him sobbing on the inside of the room. You just hear him shout, "Go away!"
I'm gonna open.
You open into his room. It is what you expect a young boy's room to be. Awkward blend of childhood, toys still scattered about the room, Legos, and various types of tinker toys that he always had a knack for building. But the new additions, you see a very nice school desk on one corner where you can see all kinds of wires and electrical parts and little plastic joints up and around. You can see a soldering iron disconnected. It looks like he was in the process of making a small little robot that's half finished. You can see there are stars all over, glowing still in the dark, and as the light from the hallway enters in this room, you can see him on top of a very nice twin bed with astronaut-based sheets in the front as he is buried his face in his pillow. You can see him just sobbing.
I'm gonna walk over to the toy, the half-built robot. So, what are you trying to make with this?
It's a fucking matter. I tried to show you like 3 times and you wouldn't even let me come see you. You don't fucking care.
I actually do. Quite a bit.
He just shoots up a little bit looking over you. Is that why you're fucking leaving? You finally get better, and the first night, you're leaving. It's 6 months. I kind of sits up, his head go down. You're such a liar. Do you know how hard it is to try and get mom and dad just to say nice things about you? I always defended you. I always tell dad, just watch, dad. You know, big sis is going to get better, and she's going to come home, and it's going to work out. And, you know, Mr. Holland said she's got all these cool things going on, and dad would never believe me.
I am getting better, and you were right.
What do you mean you're getting better? You're leaving.
I'm leaving for myself. I'm leaving because it's something that I need to do.
Yeah, you're leaving for yourself. What about me? What about mom? What about dad? All they do is fight ever since you left home. Ever since you got sick.
I did get sick, and I didn't want you to see me like that.
Does it really matter?
It does matter.
No, it doesn't, because it's still the same. You only care about you.
That's not true.
Then why are you leaving? If you don't care about yourself, if you actually cared about me or what I'm going through or what mom and dad's been going, what everything's been going on here, you would stay. You could do music here. It's Seattle. There's got to be a good school here for you. Why do you gotta go?
It's not that easy, bro. It's not. The reason I got sick is because I was here. I want to travel. Haven't you ever wanted to leave here or see something else?
All my friends are here. I was going to introduce you to my girlfriend. But...
And you still can.
No, I can't. What's the point? You're going to be working. Dad's right. He's not going to pay for anything for you. All of it matters.
We've got modern technology now. I will keep in contact. It's not going to be like last time.
Says every friend that I've ever had that's moved away. Sure, we're going to keep in contact. And then, was it good for like a month? And then you don't text me. Or you get busy. And then...
The difference is that I was sick back then. I'm not sick anymore.
He looks up at you as he still has tears from him, but you can see he's very angry. Dad was right. You are selfish. You know how many times I tried to come see you? You never even wrote me back. You could have at least called. But for 2 years, sis, two fucking years. You didn't even try.
I did try.
No, you didn't. Just go live your fucking life, okay? You know, I don't care that I curse. Go live your fucking life. You're a liar, you're selfish, and you only care about yourself. So go forget about us. It's okay. Mom and dad will kill each other in the meantime, then I'll be a fucking orphan. Who cares? As long as you're happy and you get to do what you think is best for you.
I'll leave the room.
The moment you feel that door close behind you, the crying immediately continues again, but much more guttural now, on the verge of hyperventilation. The yelling downstairs has only gotten louder. You hear something break.
I'll make my way downstairs.
No one stops you.
I'll see if I can hear what's going on, just make sure that Mom's safe-ish.
As you kind of hide in the corner, peek around, she stomps right past you. As she goes down the hallway, you just hear her just trying to stifle back a sob as you can see her mascara in full run down the side of her face as she's covered her mouth, her eyes closed, just her heels clacking against the hardwood. She sobs past you towards the other side of the house, towards your parents' bedroom. The door slams behind it. You hear your father just give a very exasperated sigh. You can hear the sound of that stupid fancy lighter of his clicking. You already smell the cigar smoke as you can hear a deep puff. God damn it. So was your fucking fault. So everything I've fucking done.
And I'm gonna quietly leave.
You quietly leave out the front door as that clear night begins to rain. You get into the car, and what goes through Haley's mind right now after what just happened? You expected it to be rough.
Probably two voices. One that's saying, "You're fuck up, it's always your fault." Basically repeating everything Thomas and her father have said. And then the other one that's saying, "You can still try. You can prove them wrong. You've already come so far." And just those two voices are fighting.
You kind of sit in the car for a moment as you can't help but feel as tears start to come down the side of your face as those two voices start unraveling your mind. And there's a third voice that starts peeking through. It starts very quiet, like a whisper, but it cuts through a lot of the white noise. What's the point? What's the point? Why do you try to be so good? Why do you work so hard to prove people wrong?
I'm gonna pull out my phone and I'll dial Grayson.
The phone rings. It rings again. The sound of the rain begins to grow heavier outside as you can hear the wet water tapping against metal and glass. He's gonna answer, right? He always answers. He always has his phone on him. You hear, you've reached Mr. Holland's cell phone. I am currently indisposed at this time. If this is an emergency, please hang up and call 911. If you do have any questions about the ESSC Second Chance Facility, I am more than happy to take your inquiry. So call me back, leave me a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for your time. He hangs up. As the message ends, you hear a beep. Simply leave a message.
Grayson, it's Haley. I know it's Christmas Eve and you're probably busy, but if you're not, I thought that maybe we could go out, or of course it's Christmas Eve and I'm sitting here leaving a voicemail. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm having a rough night and I guess I could use a friend, and I know that sounds really shitty, and just delete this. I'll be fine. I hope you're having fun tonight, and Merry Christmas, Grayson. Bye.
The phone hangs up.
I'm gonna check the time.
It's about 10:30. And as you take the time, you can't help but hear in that mind that small voice that starts cutting through that white noise again. See what happens? No one cares. No one actually cares about you. Grayson says he'd always answer that phone for you. The first time you need him, he doesn't. What's all this for, Haley? Why'd you even bother? No one cares about you. You could be in a ditch tomorrow and people would be happy about it. You'd be happy if you were gone.
I'm going to think about calling Danica, but kind of hold back. She's probably up by now. And I'm going to look at the contact for Enzo, and then I'm also going to kind of hover over Randall's as well and just be debating between the two.
At this point, your phone does go off.
Check the caller ID.
It's Enzo.
I'll pick it up.
Hey! Merry Christmas, sweet face.
Merry Christmas. You about to start work or something?
Actually, I got a bit surprise for you. I called in.
They let you do that on Christmas Eve?
They don't really have a choice with me.
Attractive.
Hey, I know you probably are real busy, being so popular and all, but I was thinking, why not you and me? I've got a little place I squared away, nice overlook of the city. Why don't you and me have a little quality time this Christmas Eve? There's a small
actually sounds really great.
bit of static over the phone for a moment as you hear his voice kind of garbles for a second.
Hello?
Oh, sorry, I'm here. I'm just on my way to the hotel. I went through a tunnel.
Hey, you got a hotel?
Yeah. Of course I did.
You know what? Sure. I need a distraction tonight anyway.
A distraction, you say? All right.
All right, don't get cocky.
I mean, it's not cocky if it's skill.
All right. Well, I'll just meet you there.
See you soon, babe.
See you soon.
You hear something else on the phone that kind of sounds garbled again before it hangs up.
I'll kind of hang out there for a few more moments before I start the car, and I'll take off.
It's a long drive, as after a few moments you pull out, you get a text message from Enzo. It said, again, that damn tunnel is longer than I thought, and he gives you an address. It's actually a really nice penthouse. It costs a lot of money.
He's like some secret rich person and not telling me, isn't he? And I'll make my way there, but I'm still struggling in the car a bit. When I have a second, I'll text Danica too and say, gonna be a bit late, sorry. Merry Christmas Eve.
She doesn't respond back.
Of course, nobody responds back. And I'll continue driving. Don't care.
What do you care about at this point, Haley? How do you feel?
I feel fed up. I just feel like if this is all that people are going to see, and the only people that actually care are not even here when I really need them, I'm just getting frustrated. But then it's an internal circle of I'm feeling selfish when I think like that. And so I'm kind of the serpent eating its own tail at this point with just thoughts of just feeling worthless. And so I just feel done. I feel like if it weren't for Enzo, she would have called Randall.
Think you would have relapsed tonight?
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing Enzo was there and called you first. Must be fate, right?
That's what she's feeling right now. She's feeling like maybe this relationship is very good for her.
It's painful on time, almost an hour later. Can't help but look out. As a little bit of the cloud from the storm kind of parts for just a moment, as the eye of the storm kind of hits the middle of the city, you can see a bright crescent moon overlooking the bay as it ripples through, casting a pale light over the city for a moment, before that darkness just kind of sweeps it away, never to be seen again, supposedly. You do eventually reach the address. You pull into the parking garage. It's pretty packed. It's to be expected at this time of year. Who knows what individuals have going on in these private walls, but he does send you the room number. It's on top floor.
I'll try and go to the elevator and hope it's not so fancy that I need a key card to activate the elevator.
It is not. You're able to hit the top button, and it does take you all the way to the top, where walking down a hallway, the doors are far in between. Makes you wonder how big these rooms are. Do you find the room number? Do you knock?
Yeah, I'll knock.
After a few moments, you knock. Silence. Then you hear sound of footfalls as the door opens, and you see Enzo. Can you hear that 1,000-watt smile? He is dressed up to the nines. He is in a custom-made pair of dark black slacks and blazer jacket, a bit of a red vest and a white button-up shirt. He looks at you as his buttons are slightly open just a little bit to give a little bit of that rebellious flair. As you can see a silver chain goes off of his belt loop down to his pocket. His hair is flushed off to the side like he typically wears it. A little bit more product, and you could tell and you could smell just heavy cologne. Not abrasive. Smells nice, but he definitely expressed a little bit too much. As he just like, come here often? Of course you do. Look at this place. Someone of your stature and your taste has to be living here.
You mind explaining to me how you got a penthouse?
I save up my
Are you
allowance.
some secret prince of some country I haven't heard about or something?
He gives you a wink and a shrug. I saved up my allowance. Come on.
You have to let me know what you're actually doing, and I'll walk inside.
He closes the door behind you. You can hear the sound of the deadbolt locking as you look around, and there is candlelight everywhere. It is a very large, open concept apartment, or type of apartment penthouse, so to speak. On one part of the room, you can see this beautiful cascading overlook. The entire one side of this wall is just floor to ceiling windows, as you can see the entire shimmering side of the city as that storm just rages down endlessly, just pouring over everything, giving everything a dark, almost shining appearance. There are candles lit almost on every surface, bathing this room in very gentle, atmospheric light. You can see there are actually a trail of rose petals that lead towards the bed.
What is this?
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, I needed this.
He kind of looks at you and does put a hand to your face as you see him. He actually wipes away a bit of your cheek and kind of looks back, and you can see mascara on his thumb. You crying?
No, I'm just wearing a mascara I thought was waterproof, but it's not.
He tilts his head as he wipes it on his black jacket.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's a rental.
I'm sorry. It's been a night, and I'm just.
He takes you by the hand and starts leading you towards the bed. Without missing a beat, he sets you down. Tell me about it. He doesn't sit next to you. He actually pulls up one of the very lavish dining chairs and actually puts it across from you and sits in front of you, kind of taking your hands.
For the sake of brevity, I'll explain the whole everything. I feel comfortable enough that I wouldn't be like leaving out details. He'll know everything.
He watches you with a very sharp intensity. His eyes just focus on yours, and you find yourself as he's talking, you have to kind of catch yourself a few times, just kind of drawn to him. You start off a little bit gentle, but you find that the longer you keep looking at his eyes, these very sharp blue eyes that just seem to cut right through you, the guard starts melting away. You don't just tell him what happens. You profess it. before long, all that emotion becomes just welling out of your mouth without any sense of control. You feel yourself just crying in between the words as tears are just flooding down, the floodgate coming up, every ounce of vulnerability just spilling out into the surface. You don't want to tell him what happened. You need to. And he just watches you very intently the entire time, nodding.
So yeah, then you called, and I'm here.
I know a guy. Like, for real, I know a guy. I can make it look like an accident.
Wow, I actually debated that for a second. I am a terrible person.
You're not a terrible person, really. I think you're amazing, actually.
Don't feed me that romance novel bullshit right
When
now.
have I ever been a liar to you? Honestly. In fact, when do I lie ever?
You're too good to be true sometimes.
I am true. I'm here in front of you. Haley.
I appreciate that.
Haley, you're not anything your dad said. You know what? I think this whole Australia idea is amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm proud of you, but what about us?
I don't know. I mean, I know you're really gifted with the piano. I thought maybe, I don't know, maybe you could come, and I'm sure you've got a good job here, though. Obviously, you can afford a penthouse.
What if I told you there was a way to get what you're looking for? Like, not just a music thing. I know people for that. But what if I told you there was a way to take all these feelings away that you're feeling? We've done a lot with Mr. Holland and getting better. And what if there was a way for you just to not feel this bad anymore? What if you didn't have to care? What if you could be everything you wanted to be?
I'd say that's a very dangerous offer.
What if I could give you that?
Like, I'm sure you have a lot of money and stuff, but I really don't want anybody spending a dime on me at this point.
It's not money. Money is, trust me, I've been around the block a few times. Money is a lubricant. Yeah, a lubricant. It greases palms and it keeps gears rolling. That's not what I'm talking about.
If you're pertaining to drugs, I'm really trying to manage that still.
What if I keep an eye on you? Look, you're tough. One hit ain't gonna hurt you.
See, this is why I said you're too good to be true, because true man would not be offering me the very thing that I am sober from. And I don't have any temptation at all.
He looks down at you, just raising an eyebrow, smiling. You feel this little tingling in the back of your mind when he does that.
Okay, so what? You're saying you'll just keep an eye on me, and how do you know that I'm not just gonna go back to it again? Because I've come this far.
I can promise you, Haley, I won't let you. Look, you don't become an addict just from one hit. And personally, I say you've earned a little numbing for tonight. I came here, I gotta be totally honest, I came here in the mind of getting lucky. I kind of did. I even bought this monkey suit.
Really? The rose petals didn't give that away.
They were on sale, okay?
You have a penthouse and you're worried about what's on sale?
Yes. Look, how about I can make this promise for you? It's not about money. Just put this Australia and your family and all this stuff on the table, and let's talk about it tomorrow night. But for now, it's Christmas Eve. Why don't you just take one last hit just to kind of close this life out? Even you say it yourself, if everyone's always going to see you as a druggie, you might as well, twist the knife just one last time. Just kind of numb it out. But then tomorrow, you move in with me.
What?
You'll move in with me. And I promise you, you'll see the world much clearer.
I'll tell you what, I will agree to that, so long as you have to play the piano for me.
Every night. Same time even.
Every night.
Every night.
Okay. Fine. You're a terrible influence.
I know, but at least I have enough willpower for the both of us. You see, reaches into his lapel pocket and he smells of a small little tiny Ziploc baggie of white powder.
You just had that on you the whole time?
Again, it's a rental.
Okay. Just because I need a fucking break.
We all do, honey. Here, let me go get you a lighter. With that, he lets you get up as you begin making your way towards the bathroom, and he hands you a lighter. It goes to your mind as you hold that little white baggie of heroin.
I'm just reassuring myself it's gonna be okay. It's not a big deal. It's just to forget tonight, and just one time, and I feel so confident in myself right now that I'll be able to bounce back, and it's gonna be no big deal, and this is gonna be the last of it, and that's it.
Yeah, everyone has a small slip up. You fall off the wagon once or twice, but no one has to know. You deserve this. You've been through.
And I'm with somebody that I trust for that, so I'm even more like
Enzo's always
I'm even more
back.
okay with it.
Enzo's always had your back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine I already know what to do, so I go through with it.
He lets you have the privacy in the bathroom. Because you've got candles in here, son of a bitch. You look at the mirror as you kind of start going through the process. You see a little sticky note that says, "Don't forget you're beautiful." You see your freckles in the mirror and your bright blue eyes and your smile shaking your head. This man is a dangerous individual, but one you can never seem to quit.
And I'm just thinking about how much I just want to forget about it and just relax, and I'm just getting...
You're transfixed in that hot glow from the lighter in your hands. The world around you seems to move in a haze to the point where you don't even feel the sting of the needle anymore. You're barely even aware of the heat that goes into your veins as the world and the colors and the lights around you start to become a swirling cocktail of euphoria that surges to almost immediately every nerve ending in your body. Within moments, as the opioids cloud your body and your mind, you feel a heaviness in your limbs. You kind of lean against the countertop as, oh shit, your legs are starting to go out. And before you have time to react, you hit the floor in a stupor. This feels amazing, but you can't move. Oh shit, this hits you really hard.
Enzo?
Words come out slurred and in slow motion as you move your head to one side. You have like a hard time keeping your eyes focused on just one space and time. There's a small bit of panic as you don't know how long it takes, but there's also a tea serving on the floor. It's nice and cold, but the lights are pretty that bounce off the bathroom and around the crystal fixtures here. The door, you hear the door open, you look over and you see this very broad silhouette looking down at you. Light heavy behind him, casting a very mysterious silhouette.
Yeah. I think it was too much. Maybe.
Shh. It was more than enough. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. As you feel him lean down and wrap his arms around you, picking you up off the floor, sweeping you off your feet.
You smell nice.
You're the one that picked it out, sweetheart. You're the one that picked
Did
it out.
I?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yay.
You feel him lay you down onto the bed. The lights in this room are spinning. It's like a wave of color. Feels like you're looking at the Aurora Borealis. It's winter. You'll feel warm as all that noise in your head, all three of those voices are just gone.
Shut up.
They tend to do that. They tend to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can now hear you can smell the cologne. You can smell the soft burning of scented candled wicks. You can even hear the faintest sound of the storm outside hitting against the glass. And all that stress has melted away. 4 months of just unyielding stress and restraint, white knuckling through every day, finally gone. You faintly hear the door open across the room.
Enzo?
You're not sure how much time is passing. Time is a construct to you at this point. It is an enigma. But you kind of roll your head over to one side as you see someone coming through the door. You blink kind of weakly, and you see a woman. She's beautiful. Beautiful white dress that just accentuates such an elegant curvature of her body. She's tall and lean. There's this beautiful halo of light that seems to just cascade around her as these beautiful, dark, thick curls just spiral down around her face and down her back in an endless tidal wave of smoothness, highlighted by just stunning ivory skin with these piercing green eyes that just look down at you with this gentle smile. You've never seen anyone so beautiful.
Am I dead? There's an angel in the room.
You hear
someone?
A soft voice from the woman. Please tell me, what part of this life brings you such pain? As you see her sit down in bed next to you, very gentle, very cold hands grasp yours.
Yeah. Most of it, some of it, all of it. A lot.
You can speak the truth to me. Please confess. What hurts you the most?
The way that everyone looks at me. Like I'm already a fuck up.
No. I've been watching you for a long time, my dear. What could I tell you if I could give you and make you more than what you are now? That you could be everything you've ever dreamed of and more. What would you give to do that?
I'd give everything for that. I feel like I could be so much better than this. Such a weak thing.
I could take that hell away from you right now. I could take all the pain away. You'd never have to touch drugs again. You'd never have to rely on worldly comforts. Do you want me to take all that away? Give you something more?
Yeah.
The world doesn't recognize how wonderful you truly are, Crescent. My beautiful Crescent. Come now, my child. Let's leave this world behind.
What about everybody?
Shh. You feel a gentle finger on your lips. All of that doesn't matter now. Leave who you are behind. Doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't matter.
You feel her lean across the bed. You feel a gentle, cold hand pressed against your back, lifting you from the chest up towards her. As you feel cold but strong, motherly arms around you. It's a sting on your neck, but it is immediately replaced with a euphoria that you have never felt before, something that just floods your senses in almost an instant. This intense pleasure you're feeling, it's indescribable, something you've never felt. No amount of drugs or sex or worldly comforts have ever even paled in comparison to what you feel in this moment. Because every single nerve in your body is alight with light and euphoria. Every ounce of aching pain gone in an instant. You could be here forever in this warm embrace. You feel your body start to go cold. Your heart begins to slow in your ears, which was beating so fast up until now. You feel so calm and protected. Haley, your head lolls to one side of the bed as this euphoric smile just floods across your face. Your eyes open. In a daze, you look out at the window. The storm clears, and you can see that same crescent moon rising over the base. Still there, despite everything. It's still there. Crescent moon. The angels say that name too. Crescent. The crescent moon. As it continues to rise, your heart continues to slow, and you continue to grow colder and stiffer. Haley, that crescent moon is the last thing that your eyes see, or your eyes slowly shut, and you hear your heartbeat for the last time. Medico looks to you in the eyes. Her jaw just dropped as her and Acer have been locked in this padded cell for a few hours now. As you hug your knees to your chest, just tears running down your face. But at the same time, a smile is there too. She just shakes her head.
I've never actually told anybody about that. Can you stop looking at me like that?
Sorry, it's a lot. She looks over to you, Acer. Am I the only one that's having the hardest time between, like, wrapping my head around how fucked up this is, also how badly I want to kick Enzo in the balls?
Acer is currently on a support beam attaching like these 4 contraptions to it, and was in the middle of fiddling with it when he just suddenly just stops and is just paying full focus on Crescent. I don't know what to say. That's not how I envisioned any family, really.
Any family?
I mean, fuck.
What?
I don't know. Maybe I've just been sheltered, I guess, and he's just gonna continue fiddling with things.
Sheltered has nothing to do with it. That's straight up mental abuse, what just happened there. That's not okay. I mean, none of that story was okay, but none of that is okay.
Yeah, and now you know why I'm avoiding my brother the last time that you guys mentioned. And why I'm very prickly towards Enzo, because after I woke up from that, he just pretended like none of it happened.
Medico kind of brings her knees up to her chest. You can still see the bruising along her neck that come down to one side. Unfortunately, both of you guys fell into Acer's trap as he locked you both in your room and ripped out the circuits so the door could be opened. As he put some of the extra padding from one of the spare cells against the walls, just in case, after watching your throwdown with Michael some weeks beforehand. But Monica just kind of shakes her head. I honestly don't know what to say about this. Fuck.
You're just gonna see a little drop of blood just kind of hit the floor. You just see Acer up top just doing this really quick, trying to hide it. Like,
Aww.
Are you
what, did you do
seriously
something?
crying?
No one crying.
Don't fucking cry. You're gonna make me start crying. As her eyes start
All right,
watering up.
can we not have a room full of crying?
That's
It's not
it. As she gets up and just throws her arms around you. I'm so glad you fell through my roof.
Thanks. I'm kind of glad about that too, which means I owe Onyx a thank you.
I guess I should buy her dinner.
No, you don't need to do anything. You need to stay as far away from her as possible.
And you're not going to tell me what to do anymore.
If you're going to hang around in this world, then yes.
Crescent, I'm already in this world. I love you to death, girl, but here's a hard, cold truth. I was in this world before you. Guess what? She kind of throws her arms back, so you can see both of her arms are still bandaged from the last time that she cast fire in that cave underneath Mount Rainier. Some of those memories come flooding back to you. I got fucking possessed by your ghosts. By your ghosts. But
All
guess
the more
what?
reason why you shouldn't.
Will you let me finish? Cressy, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You went in guns blazing with your friends. I'm still mad at you for let that happen, by the way, Acer. You promised.
She's alive. Plus, did you see her eyes?
My eyes?
Right.
I did
So
notice that
when
was a different color.
When I first met you, you had your eyes that hue, and at some point they permanently turned red. And after the talk we had, they went back to your normal color that I saw you at. At this point, that's my gauge to see how much emotion you can take it.
I don't know why you still like Eleanor so much. It just proves my point of what I said about her. She's a nut job.
She's not.
Actually, Medico, she might not be.
Oh, great. There's more to the story.
There's a lot more to it, and that's what I'm saying is that yeah, you may have been a part of this, but like hanging out with me, you're in this to a whole deeper degree.
Crescent, I was in it the moment that I torched somebody. Look, you walk around.
But this is different.
No, it's not.
No,
Stop.
it is because
Stop. You're always trying to convince me to leave you alone. Ever since I first met you. The moment that you fucking careened through my roof like a fireball from hell, I had to put you on the fire extinguisher in a blanket. I did the right thing by saving you that night. That's just what a good person does. I don't care kindred or vampire or human or whatever. Everyone deserves to live. No one on either spectrum deserved to just stop existing. So I did the right thing there, but I chose to be your friend. I chose to help you find people, to hurt people because I care about you. Yeah, I know what you do. Don't think I don't have my ways to keep an eye on you when I don't have a phone on you. No matter how many times I try to give you one. Crescent, I was in this world the moment that I turned somebody into the Human Torch. They died screaming in front of me. I may not understand the idea that you have to hurt people all the time, and I don't agree with it. But at the same time, you can't help it. Same way that when I get upset, you can see like a bit of sparking kind of come off her fingertips. I can't stop this from happening. She takes a deep breath as you guys kind of step back, just a little instinctually, as you can see a little bit of sparking coming off her hands.
At this point, Acer's just kind of climbing down the ladder. As soon as he sees the sparks, he's gonna like freeze for a second before continuing descending.
I'm fine.
Crescent, in all fairness, she has to be with us now more than ever. And I finally get to the bottom and just turn to her. Hurricane hacked my entire system.
I'm aware of that.
Which means he's been listening to us ever since then. He knows about me. He knows about my family. And he knows about Medico.
I could probably agree to that.
You push her out now, you will literally be throwing her to the sharks.
What if something...
That's not your
What if something happens again?
That's not your problem, Crescent.
But it is my problem, because
Try and stop me.
Well, then try and stop me from, God forbid, something happens and then I have to embrace you or something, because you can't expect me to watch you die. I'm not going to do it. If I can do something about it, which I can, I'm going to. And I know that you don't want that, but guess what? I'm fucking selfish. Because I love you, and I don't want to live in a world where you don't exist. So yeah. What do you want me to do?
You see her look at you very sternly as she, at this point, I did come right up to your face. But you expect her to lash back out at you. You know how sharp of a tongue Medico has. When she gets angry, she could say some of the most hurtful things. You've watched her destroy somebody with simple sentences. To your surprise, her face softens. You see tears kind of well up in her face. She looks down. It's not going to happen. But you need to understand that it's something, Crescent. I don't want to be like you.
You know that.
But I want to be with you. She looks at you, as you can see tears falling down her face. When I thought that whatever Arya, she kind of puts this for a moment. When Arya had me, I saw everything you did to cause her pain. I saw her memories like the world's most horrible flashback. I could hear the sound of that gunshot going off in her parents' rooms, like repeating like a sick movie. I saw what you could be. I saw what you are sometimes. But I also saw the fact that when I was worried for a moment that you were going to leave me to die down there, alone in the dark for whatever she wanted, whatever that altar was, whatever she wanted out of that, you came for me. 3 of you, but you came for me. Even when I was about to kill you. You're my friend. Really my only real friend. And no offense to you, Lisa, you're great. I just don't know you that well.
Untaken.
I like you though. Kinda cool.
What's a first?
You just need to get it through your head, Crescent, that... Fuck. You should have realized from last night that you're not invincible either. That it's not fair for you to tell me to stay safe, but then you throw yourself at danger haphazardly, and you could be brought down just as easily as I could. And I'm alive. So it's not fair that you get to act like you're invincible and have everything figured out when you don't. It's not fair that you try to shove me away when I want to help. The only reason why I didn't come help you is because I didn't get there fast enough. I was on my way when Acer called.
Oh, thank God.
Well, he was on that way and he told me what happened. What was going on. And you know who should have told me? You. I didn't want to hear it from Acer. I wanted to hear it from you.
I don't exactly have the ability to talk on a phone.
Well, then you should have been with him. Or you should have visited me the dozens of times.
I was with him.
No. You didn't do enough, and you know that. Don't defend yourself. She takes her hands. You are my friend. And we're both killers. She pauses as she kind of has a 1,000-yard stare for a moment, taking a breath. We've both done bad things.
I don't think there's a bad bone in your body.
My bones, maybe not, but my skin's a different story. As she kind of just lets go of one of your hands to show you the bandages. I've lost count of how many times I've had to do this. From now on, You don't get to tell me when I can't be there. Not anymore. As she kind of pokes your chest right near where you were staked.
Okay, still sensitive.
Yeah. Because I wasn't there to stop that from happening.
If you were there, you'd be dead.
You don't know that.
Or worse.
You don't know that. I know you're afraid of fire. You could have been too.
Most of us are afraid of fire.
And yet, you put aside by me because you think I'm some kind of porcelain doll you need to protect.
I didn't say that. I just...
Crescent, you know if I turned on you right now, I could kill you right in this room where you stand.
Acer's gonna take a step back.
You too, Thin Blood. Or should I say
And
Mr.
another
Primogen?
And another step.
I know your room's soundproof. He told me everything. Crescent, I can only be as close as you let me, sure. But I'm asking you, as your friend, stop playing these games with me. Stop acting like you have to redeem yourself and protect me when you're the one that came to me in the first place. It's not fair. Look, if it came down to it, I have to be honest, I don't want to be what you are. As terrifying as who I am and how scared I am that I could hurt somebody at any moment if I slip up or get upset or angry is why I'm happy all the time, because if I'm not, I run the risk of hurting people. But as horrible and as terrifying as that is, I like the magic that I am. I've grown to find a beauty in it. So I don't want to be what you are. So instead, I'll promise that you won't have to do that.
Promise that.
I can promise a lot of things, but you have to let me try. If that's the part you're not letting me do, you're not letting me try, and that's not fair.
I'm sorry.
So they were in agreement. No more of you trying to put me on the shelf. I get that, frankly, I don't really like the idea of jumping in the middle of the woods and fighting a psychopath Vietnam veteran. That doesn't sound like my cup of tea, fine. But when you need me, if you need my help, you stop playing these games with me and you just come to me. When you've done something bad, don't act like I don't know, because I probably already do. I know what you're capable of, and I know the things that you've done. And I already know what you did to Arya, obviously. This big bad secret you've been holding back. Do you think how much trouble it could have saved us had you just told me? Fuck, I probably could have helped prevent this whole damn thing.
Sorry. Okay. I'm scared.
Well, the world we live in is pretty scary.
Not like that. Just... I don't want to lose anybody.
You can't protect all of us yourself, Crescent.
I can try.
And you will fail if you do it by yourself. Because look what happened with Duncan. You tried by yourself, and you almost died. What's going to happen to the rest of us if you meet the final death? Look, I'm still taking the stance that Eleonora and Enzo are jackasses and fucking psychotic, and I will be finding a way to get back at Enzo one way or another, because from girl on girl, that is bullshit. That's revenge story worthy. But look what
That's if we can even find him.
I might be able to help with that, but that's a different story for a different time.
Really?
Aren't I your special little tracker?
I appreciate everything that you do.
But for right now, just remember, if anything I take out of this twisted story about Haley, which you do look like a Haley, by the way. Cute name.
What?
Sorry.
Agreed.
Squirrel brain. Shut up.
Well, Haley's dead, so...
Not in my eyes.
There was a funeral.
Yeah, probably. But she's standing in front of me still. Look, you may call yourself Crescent, and I'll keep calling you as such because I'm used to it. But you're still Haley. You're still the same girl with insecurities who took, honestly, the most comforting way out because life got too much, and rightfully so. I don't think even I would have that kind of restraint in the same situation. But you haven't changed, Crescent. The only difference is you've gotten a lot stronger, sure. You're still chasing after people that show you affection. You still are insecure. You still think you could take on the world. You still try to prove everybody wrong, even if it hurts you. And when you can't, you push everybody away. That's not fair. So, I'm not going to give you a choice anymore. I'm your friend, and I am going to start showing up in your room, and every time I think that you're not telling me something, I'm going to burn something in here.
Oh, what?
Yeah. I'm going to threaten you now. See how you like it. As she smiles and kind of like puffs her chest out a little bit. You're not so scary. How strong is a shadow when you have a bonfire going, huh? I don't think so.
Acer is quickly looking around and taking every mental note possible of what to make fire retarded.
She does laugh with you as she hugs you very tightly. I could kick your ass.
Yeah, keep talking.
I'm not going anywhere. You won't have to eat me.
I'm not gonna eat you.
I'm sure I'm delicious, but that's a different story.
No comment?
I just finished setting up a few things. I think this is a good time to actually show you what I've been working on.
Before that, this is going to sound a little counterproductive. I have to ask, I now know who Haley is, but that makes me really curious as she slowly looks over to you, Acer. What about you?
Acer's always been my name. It's just
Not
Acer, never changed.
Not that, you dumbass. I mean, look.
Sounds like another story time. Acer, how did you become you? Because I don't think you've ever told us either.
I'd like to know.
I mean, if you don't mind sharing.
You guys did nearly just die again.
Not something I like to relive, but
it can't be worse than literally being drugged and eaten.
You're right.
You'd be surprised the way that some people get embraced.
Well, I'm not asking about them. I'm asking about Acer.
Well, it also makes me wonder about frickin' Danica.
There's some things that she's told me that we'll have to talk about later in that regard. Because there's some things that now make sense based on that retelling.
Wait, what?
Trivial for now. But Acer, seriously. What happened to you?
My story was less about how I got embraced and what happened afterwards. Give me a second. And he goes over to the door and takes out the circuit board that he ripped out and just kind of connects a few things to open the door. I'll be back. After a few minutes, he comes back with a book. Ironically, one that Crescent you saw only one other time that he pulled out. And that was when he set his first haven on fire. There was one book he specifically got, and it was the first thing he went to and put in his backpack before all the other stuff.
Okay.
And he just kind of comes back in and then just closes the door again. Make sure no one else hears.
I've seen this thing before. You took this from the other haven, right? The one before you exploded it?
Yeah. This is is my origin.
You put it into a book?
And he kind of unravels it and opens up the covers and takes out like a little USB drive. And then quickly just flips through the book. It started when Dark and I were working late at one of the colleges. And it was time to go home, but he and I were working on a really big project, one that we were going to submit to a local tech school. It was a pretty good project. And that night we left very late. And that night when I got off is when I got attacked.
As soon as you slip that thumb drive into the recorder, the videos start playing. That's good ahead time to go ahead and for us to take a small break as we slowly fade out from the Haven. And we'll dive into Acer's origin. As with the rising of Crescent, Acer will now relive his broken dreams. Back in a moment. Before we get back into it, as always, we do appreciate you guys being here with us during this time. Make sure to slap that follow, slap that subscribe. You know, the bigger we get, the more ambitious projects we'll be able to do and the more wonderful VTM-based content we'll bring you. So it's a trade-off. But we love you guys. We appreciate you. And let's continue with the fall. It takes a moment as it begins to autoplay the media as Medico and Crescent watch on this hollow projector you have set up. The image of you flicks in. You look much grungier, unkempt. Look like you haven't slept in weeks. A lot different than you look now. You actually look weaker in this video than you remember. Your skin is ashen, but not quite to the type of lifelessness that you remember. It's worse. As your mind begins to fall back on that memory, as you hear your own voice, Ace Soren, VtM 1, and we begin to fade in back to that day. April 4th, 2014. Your day started like any other day. A mundane man in your mid-20s, still tucked away at home with your sizable family. You attend a local college. You work part-time as a white hat hacker, taking small jobs for money, while pursuing a field of cybersecurity and logistics. Life, for you, works humbly like most, at least it should have. But the thing about it is the world works in strange and cryptic ways. Someone like you can spend their whole entire life basking in the blessed light of success, who reap great rewards as a result of their endeavors and hard work. You certainly put your best foot forward at time and time again. However, just like being in the right place at the right time, the opposite is always there. All of that potential can be snuffed out in an instant by being simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's been a long day for you, as that seemingly normal day was not normal in its entirety, as you and Dark step out into that mildly temperate April evening. The sun long gone. You too had been, at this point, berated by questions from this cybersecurity firm. You both worked your asses off, and you broke the unbreakable. And Dark, as he is in a suit that much too baggy and too tight in the wrong places for his shorter, portly form, he is the first one to just gasp like, "Holy fucking shit, we did it! Oh my god!" He just looks at you just like buzzing. "You are such a bitch, but you did it!"
Oh god, I can't believe that fucking worked. Like,
did you see the amount of zeros they were offering, man? Did you see the check?
And that's just with our skills. Once we introduce the program we created, holy fuck, do you know how much money we're gonna grab?
Dude, we can make the program, make a thing that breaks the program, and then fix the program. We can be like Norton.
Oh, okay, hold up. We're not going that far, all
Oh,
right?
come
We're trying
on,
to...
it's a cash cow. This is what we fucking do?
It's a helper program. I haven't even given it a name yet.
You know what? Don't be a bitch. You know I'm the one in charge here as your dark master, motherfucker. You're gonna do what I say. We're gonna make some fucking money off this cash cow. Let's go.
Darkness have no power over the light, okay? You know what happens when the sun comes out? Boom, no darkness. So fuck off, all right?
But you know what? No matter how bright that light is, there's always that sweet, sweet shadows. Always way to take it back.
And yet, even in the night, we have a moon. That is powered by, surprise, surprise, the sun. You're not getting over this, man.
You're such a bitch.
Still, I can't believe we actually fucking did it.
You know what? You know what? I gotta hand it to you. You did it. I've been slamming my brain against that algorithm for weeks, and you did it. I don't say this very often, my loyal minion. You made your master proud.
You know what? I'm gonna let that slide. You and I, tomorrow, we're going out for drinks.
Dude, hands down, I know that sweet little maid cafe down by the corner next to the ramen shop.
You know what? I don't usually go that far, but fuck it. I'm in.
You know what? Maybe we could do actually a fucking girlfriend for once. You've been sterile for too long.
Yeah. You know what? No comment. I'll just leave it there. I'm just so damn happy about this. Let's just get on the bus and go home. I'm tired as fuck.
Well, I actually got a hot date I gotta meet up to. This is why I decided to wear this fucking monkey suit, which is kind of fancy and shit. And now with all those fucking zeros in our bank account, I can actually afford to spring for the extra size meals. So,
I'm gonna rewind you really quick. You have a hot date?
No, not always. It's Friday night. You gotta work on your game, man. Stop being a little bitch as he smacks you up the back of the shoulder.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did you break up with your left hand for your right hand? What the hell is going on here?
Ha ha ha. As he spins around his heel, he flips you the birds, he starts walking away. Love you, dickbag!
Of course you do. Hey, tomorrow, 9 o'clock.
I'll be there. Don't get mugged!
Who's gonna mug this? I got nothing. And he's just gonna go to this bus stop and just sit down. Really proud of himself. Just waiting for the bus.
The night is a relaxing night here in Seattle. Not a cloud in the sky. Fortunately, the city is too bright, even though it's dark, to see the stars, but the moon is gorgeous. It's full. Not a care in the world as you just wait for that bus to come, mingling with your own thoughts, mingling with the future. So many things that you could do with the money, you know? Your dad works his ass off on the ranch. Your mom works nights just to keep things afloat, you know? Things are expensive in this area, but you could do a lot for them in this way.
Pull out the thumb drive and just be like, what am I gonna call you? Oh, you're gonna help so many people.
But your phone goes off in your pocket.
What do we got here?
You see a process saying Daddy-O on the front of it.
He opens it up.
You open up, you're getting a full frontal view of his nose. It's like, did I do it? Is it working?
Yes, Dad.
Can you hear
back.
me? Hello?
Further back.
You hear me?
I got
Where
you.
are you?
You gotta pull the phone away from your face. Just a little bit.
Oh, shit!
Yep, there you go.
I got it. As you can see, the lighter, pale complexion of your father's face, getting on in years with a bit of that black and white mustache going far across his upper lip. He's wearing these very low-rimmed glasses, but you can see the sun-weathered skin and wrinkles inside his face. He's still a little bit dirty from working on the ranch, but he looks down with a big old white smile as you can see, you know, your mother on one side of him, as well as you can hear the clamoring of your siblings in the background. It's like, there we go, man. Look at that. Look at me. Look at your old man working on the smartphone just like my boy. I figured it out. Ha!
Hell yeah, great timing. I got some great news for you. Now, they didn't put it in the bank yet, but I managed to crack it. We're getting paid.
That's great, son. We're so proud of you. You hear your mom like, oh, so that she actually did the the jailbreaking thing. Like, no, he didn't break out of jail. He was messing with his code shit with his weirdo friend.
It's same thing. Anyways, it's going to be coming in the next few days. The check has to process, but as soon as it's in my account, we're going to split it. We're going to get everything that we need in order to get everything running. It's going to be fantastic.
Son, you don't have to do that. I tell you all the time, that's your hard-earned money. You don't have to worry about us. We're fine.
My hard-earned money is going to go to making all of our lives just a little bit easier. And as soon as I get my helper program up and running, trust me, it's going to be even more zeros on that check. It's going to be great.
Oh, wow. Who would have thought that we would create a smart boy? Like, damn. I don't really understand half the shit that you talk about on normal cases. I guess I'm just stupid. But I'm smart enough to get a smartphone going, and I'm smart enough to be proud of you.
You know what? That's all you need nowadays. A smartphone does the rest for you anyways.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to take what's called a selfie. There's a new thing called selfies. I think it'd be really good for the ranch so they can actually see the beef that people are buying.
Farm to table. Not a bad comp.
I mean, like, I think it'd be great for the business to get whether they call them them leaders or them likers or whatever you want to call it.
I'll help set you up a profile so we can actually get that going.
Yeah, I gotta be completely honest, and you know me, I'm a terrible liar. Your little brother can do that one. I tried, but I somehow ended up calling some kind of Nigerian prince.
You didn't send him any money, did you?
No. If it's a prince, you think he'd be able to, pay for himself or whatever is the fuck's going on. It's not my problem.
Okay, well, at least we got that down. Good.
Okay, I said I was a tech savvy. I'm not an idiot, son.
Just making sure that scams are getting more and more realistic.
Well, at this point, as you're having this banter back and forth, some time goes by as this just hearty conversation between your dad gets and all of a sudden, abruptly, it just sounds like some metal behind you just slams down from the nearby alley behind you, and you spin around. How was that?
Dad, I don't know. I'm gonna call you back, okay?
Oh, yeah, don't hang up. Don't hang up. Like, hold on. Like, what's going on?
I don't know. And he gets up and just looks around to see if he can spot whatever fell.
You look behind you from the bus stop, kind of getting up to look back, and it's quite a bit of darkness far in. You can't quite make out too far, about halfway through. And as you lean in, you see a flash of movement running right towards you. You jump as 3 or 4 rats come scuttling out, squeaking. They're wet and run right past you into the street, scrabbling over themselves and disappearing into a nearby gutter.
It's okay. I think it was just some rats that knocked over some trash. Oh, goddamn, that scared me.
You turn back around and hold up your phone, though, as your dad leads and goes, "Who's that behind you?" As you just happen to have enough time to look down at your screen where you can see yourself, as you see a silhouette behind you with glowing eyes. Before you have time to turn, you see a widened fang as immediately you feel claws reach and sink into your shoulder and yank you back off your feet with surprising force. You hear your phone drop onto the ground and you scream into the alleyway. As soon as it hits the ground, you hear your father just going, "Son! Son!" You immediately feel something crammed down your neck, hard in pain and agony. You feel like something like 12 serrated knives just went deep into your jugular, and you feel a panic begin to rush over you, and you just go limp. As this fear is immediately replaced with euphoria. There's this peace suddenly just hits you that you fight off for a moment whatever's coming after you, but then your hands just fall to the side. You feel sharp objects dig into your abdomen, but you don't feel the pain. You know you're bleeding. You could feel hot blood coming off the side of your body as something is just gripping, tearing into your neck. But you can't fight back. You barely even recognize as you feel your head hit the ground hard as you lay in a puddle. You can feel blood just flooding out the backside of your neck. You're... Shit. You look up, just trying to look at the face of whatever just attacked you. As this euphoria is still running through your system, you feel yourself smile despite the fear. But all you see are just the reflections of these gold-piercing eyes staring down at you from the dark. Ah, shit. Sorry, friend. Place, wrong time, I guess. As the body just steps away deeper into the darkness, unable to catch vision as the world begins to spin, your body feels cold. And the last thing you see as you look up towards that sky, you see that moon coming over light, you see the light, feel the light kind of bathe down on you in this alleyway. You have enough strength left just to roll your head to try and look one more time and see that you're alone. Something took you so fast. You just saw eyes before you're now here. Just on the ground. There's so much in front of you. Now you're just here. Alone. It goes through your mind as you can feel your own blood just leaving your body as your limbs begin to grow colder and colder.
Acer's just, his entire mind is racing. He's very confused. He's thinking what's going to happen to my family, what's going to happen to me, what everything that I've done is just going to go to waste. I don't know what happened. It was so fast. It was almost superhuman. Adrenaline maybe. If I could just call, if I could just text 911, anything, as his mind just continues to race and race until he passes out.
The world does eventually go black around you. You will your body just to survive. You will your body just to keep your eyes open. You have to stay awake. Somebody could have saw it. You try to move your hands, but your body won't listen to you. As you can hear the faintest sound of your dad screaming at the phone. Someone's coming. But don't worry, someone's coming. And your name just being called over and over and over into the dark. Your eyes shut. You don't know how much time passes as you laid there. You don't know how long you were there. But somehow, you suddenly are aware of some noises. You could hear the sounds of beeping, panicked voices before you slip out again. You're laying on something wet but soft now. You're not sure what. You feel like you're moving. You have no idea of your equilibrium. You feel another pain in your neck. You feel a pain in your chest. You feel your heartbeat slow. Come on, do something like that. Come on. You hear a voice come off in the ear. Come on, damn it. There we go. Your eyes kind of flutter in this bright light of haze. You see that silhouette again. Those same glowing eyes looking back at you. Framed by light. Come on, man, come on. You'll be stronger than that. Come on. As your eyes begin to roll back again, feel your heart slowing. It's a nightmare. You're dreaming. It's all a bad dream. As immediately kind of comes through your mind, as you become acutely aware of a heart rate monitor. You're strapped up to some cords. Your eyes slowly begin to open again, and to your horror but relief, you're surrounded by your family. The room is bathed in a pale beige and white and light blue, and it's very bright in here. Very bright.
Oh, God. What happened?
Lay down, sweetheart, lay down. Don't move.
What?
As you hear the voice of your mom.
Oh, what happened?
You look around the room as your vision stops spiraling and begins to narrow into focus, getting adjusted to this bright room. You can hear almost the fluorescence above you. It's kind of annoying. But you look around the room and there's your family. A couple of police officers went in the room like, easy, take it easy, man. Take it easy. He's a broader individual. Short, cut hair on the sides, a little bit of crew cut on top, salt and pepper. He seems to be getting on in his years a little bit. Very striking blue eyes and very well built. He's very broad. Not really the doctor type. You expect this guy to be maybe a boxer or a hunter, but he is wearing all the official garb of healthcare. And he goes, my name is Dr. Fredrickson Theodore. You can just call me Dr. T. You, what do you remember, son?
I was at a bus stop. My friend and I just landed a contract. I can't remember anything else. What?
Okay. Take it easy. Don't push yourself hard. You're in the hospital, son. Can you tell me your name?
Acer Zoran.
Okay, good. Look, you got mugged pretty bad. Someone nearby was able to call the cops, and emergency services got you to us pretty quickly. You've been out for a couple of days. You almost lost it there a few times.
I got mugged?
Yeah. Based on what the EMTs were saying, it was a hell show. But you recovered pretty well, so nothing too disastrous. It just looks like they may have nicked a vital artery for a second there. You feel along your neck where you felt that sharply whatever tearing into you, and you feel and the flesh is fine. You feel it's tender, it's a little bruised. There's no punctures.
I'm sorry. How did I get mugged and nothing was taken?
You look at Dr. T looks over at the police officers, and one woman kind of steps forward, just shrugging. The city's pretty dangerous. Your mom and dad informed us you guys live out on the countryside, away from the city. Well, you gotta be careful around these parts, man. There are a lot of tweakers out here, a lot of druggies, and we see this stuff all the time. Luckily, we were happy to be in the area, and got to take care of when we did. I mean, there was a lot of blood there, Doc. You sure he's okay? It's like, once he got him cleaned up, a lot of the wounds were superficial. There was one deep one by the neck. Looks like he took a bad, unlucky hit for a moment, but he's gonna be okay. Honestly, I'd like to run some tests, maybe, but at this point, your dad is like, no. He's gonna come home. I think as he looks over to your mother and your siblings who are all crowded around you at this point, even your littlest brother has got up onto the bed and is looking at you like, "Are you a zombie? Shush, hey."
I have the energy of one, but I think I'm still alive. Give me a pinch.
He comes over, he pinches you really hard on the cheek and twists.
Yep. I feel it. So, not a zombie.
I hope you get superpowers or something.
I don't think a mugging works that way.
You see as your mother just looks very disapprovingly at your little brother as she kind of pops with the back of the head. It's like, that's not very nice, considering what we just went through. But Mom, I don't want to hear nothing about it. You hear your older sister Ava's like, yeah, Alex, shut up.
Doc, am I good to go home?
Dr. T looks at Alex, your father Ethan, your mother Sophia. I honestly have no grounds to keep you. You've been here for a couple days. You recovered pretty quickly. If your family feels confident they can take care of you through these next bits, the worst is behind you. Just drink plenty of fluids. Make sure you keep an eye on yourself. You'll probably be pretty sore. You got banged up pretty bad. Again, let's be superficial. You're probably feeling it for a little while. And make sure you stay fed.
Yeah. My stuff. Do you happen to have a silver USB about this big?
He slowly looks over to the police officers. We managed to get all of your effects. They're down at the station. I can grab them because they were considered evidence, but I'll drop them by your address later. Your dad gave me all the info, but there was a flash drive in the mess.
Good. Okay, we're good then. Yeah. I'm fine. Totally fine.
All right. Well, we'll leave it to it. If you need anything, Doc, just let us know. And if you guys need anything, we'll be in contact. It's going to be an ongoing thing. It's best to kind of just lay low for a bit and listen things calm down.
My kind of luck.
Yeah, unfortunate. But, hey, you're a tough kid. Take care of yourself.
Thanks, Doc.
I'll get the paperwork sorted as the three of them leave the room, leaving you all in the hospital. Your father kind of leans in and just gives you a big old hug, just switching your brother between the both of you, just like, I was so worried!
Dad, still sore.
Oh, sorry.
Yep, he was right. I'm gonna feel that for a while.
What happened? I mean, like, who was that psycho behind you when that happened? Did you piss somebody off? Or did you get into some kind of FBI conspiracy shit? I told you be careful of that hacking stuff. You're gonna walk into something you're not supposed to know.
Dad, it's white hacking. They have a program. We break into it. We tell them how we do it. It's completely legal, completely safe.
I don't know. You hear these kind of things all the time about people just going missing, in the dark web and whatnot. And they're coming back. So they poked around the FBI, found aliens and shit, and this is what happens.
Dad, I don't dive into the dark web. It's fine. It's not like you're going to be going down there accidentally and finding yourself in an auction for nuclear weapons. It's not how it happens.
Your mom is looking at your dad like he's a bit of a weirdo at this point as he leans in very close. You got to be honest with me, boy. Look me in the eye here. Are you smuggling like internet drugs or like some guns and shit? Like are you messing with them weird cryptos? Like what you doing something I should be knowing about?
There is no illegal activity whatsoever, Dad. Trust me. That USB drive that I was talking about has a code actually to help prevent that kind of stuff. It's something that Dark and I were working on, and I put a little extra time.
That explains everything already. I don't like that boy. I don't like the way he talks about women.
He's underdeveloped in that department, but he's a good guy, I promise.
I don't know. I don't like the way he talks to you either. He's probably the whole reason why this happened. I bet you he stabbed you in the back. Now there's some weird, crazy government-looking type that try to pin it all on you. That's probably what happened here. At this point, your mom leans over and smacks him really hard on the shoulder. Like, would you please, Ethan, stop? Enough of your conspiracy theories for just tonight. Our boy just survived a mugging. Can we just focus on that? Right. You're right, too. Anyway, you just relax for now, boy. We'll get your things together, get everything taken care of. You just try and take a breather for a minute. We'll get you home, okay? Mom's got something. Mom's gonna make you something real nice, survivor's meal, so to speak. Take it easy, son. As he gives you one more pat on the shoulder, as your mom leans over and kisses you on the forehead. All right, kiddos, come on, out. Give your brother some time to get some breathing room. He's joined the land of the living again. We don't want him to run away because you scared him off. Let's go. Come on, under it. As they immediately hop off the bed and definitely listen to your mom.
As my little brother hops off the bed, I'm just gonna quickly whisper, "If I get superpowers, you're the first to know."
Well, he points a finger at you and he smiles. Your family, one by one, files out, waving and smiling at you. You can tell that your mother's been crying, Ava's been crying. Your dad even looks like he's been crying, but that's not really surprising. Your dad's kind of an emotional individual, even though he tries not to be. But you're just happy to be here. Wrong place, wrong time, but you made it through. Funny enough, you do feel sore, but for a moment, you're kind of aware of people walking down the hall. And you just look in that direction and kind of follow the sound long before they actually pass in front of your door. You could hear some muffled talking, and still aware of that annoying buzzing of the fluorescent lights. This room feels very bright. They really must be paying a lot for electrical bill because it's almost annoying to your eyes.
I'm just going to quick look for a light switch and just be like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and turn those off.
You get yourself to your feet and you kind of stumble for a second before straightening up. You walk
See
past
it.
in front of a mirror as you look for the light. Before you flick it off, you got a chance to look at yourself. You are very pale. You've always been pale, but you definitely look a little run down, a little sickly. Your eyes have bags and dark circles. Hair looks a little flat, messy. But
God, I gotta get more sun.
can't help but notice that as you kind of stretch out for a moment, that soreness is rapidly fading. You remember sharp pains in your sides, like knives were digging in. And you kind of lift part of your gown to look at your ribs, where you thought it would be, and not a mark there, not even a bruise. Just kind of look at your neck. Even though it's a little tender, not a bruise there either. In fact, in all actuality, as you kind of just give yourself a once over and surprising, if it wasn't for how pale you were, you don't look like you've been mugged. You just look like you have a bad flu.
This is weird. It's fine. It's fine. I'm overthinking things. It's okay. I'm good.
You flick that light off and, oh, sweet relief. That buzzing stops and that room is a much more palatable and bearable light. But as you kind of look around, not as dark as you'd expect. You guess a lot of light pollution coming in from the city. You're not much of a city person, so you don't really see much more of it, but it's much more comfortable now.
I'll be home soon. I wonder if my phone's around here.
You look around. Unfortunately, it seems like none of your effects within this personal space. In fact, you're kind of hoping your parents bring you a change of clothes. You don't even see your clothes in here.
Okay, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. And he's just gonna take a seat, and he's just gonna kind of look at the window.
You look out the window as you're in one of the upper stories of this hospital, 4 stories high. You can see people down below going about their business. You can't help but notice how bright the night looks with the streetlights, cars rolling by. You can faintly hear the muffled sounds of people talking, cars driving down the street. Nearby bus probably honks at a pedestrian that jaywalked. The city was never really your thing. You always preferred the quiet. You miss the stars. You already do.
Oh. At least I'll be home soon.
And you're quickly disturbed as light is flipped back on from your mother.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's my retinas.
Sorry. As you see, she comes in with a fresh pair of PJs and a baggy t-shirt, one of your nerd shirts, and a pair of fuzzy slippers. I just thought you might want to change out of that dress. Though it does look fashionable on you, shows off your hips great. Here, as she brings over your clothes, get changed. Your dad's taking all the paperwork, taking care of the money came in, and you know what? God's got a plan for everything, because the money that you brought in, son, don't worry about hospital bills. I'm telling you that right now.
What? It didn't take all of it, did it?
No, not even a tenth of it.
Ooh, thank goodness. All right. That puts me at ease, and he's just gonna take off the robe and just start putting his stuff on.
Okay. She immediately turns around and begins walking out of the room. You could have gave me a warning as she closed the door behind her.
As she leaves, you birthed me, Mom. You've seen worse.
Yeah, well, privacy and respect is still a thing.
And he just gets dressed really quick and just joins everyone else.
You come out to the main lobby. They embarrass you with the staff here, because unfortunately it is policy. They have to wheel you out in a wheelchair like a cripple. And you are kind of paraded around a little bit, but your brother demands a ride as he gets into your lap and pretends you're a pirate ship, essentially, as you are both wheeled out the front entrance. Have a good night, everyone, and be careful. Now you'll know how dangerous it can be in the cities.
Be sure to keep a taser on me next time. Thanks a lot, guys.
Maybe you should keep a butterfly knife on you, as he gives you a wink and smiles as your mom opens the back door of your dad's truck and you all funnel in.
I can't wait for food. I'm starving.
Because at this point you realize that you are feeling pretty hungry.
Pretty sure we'll have to cook the entire cow when we get back.
Don't worry about that. We got enough food to feed an army. Your mom's already got it ready to go. She's been cooking up a storm to keep herself busy. Isn't that right, dear? It's like, yeah, well, can you really expect me to sleep after what happened for a bit? Like, no, not making fun of you. And at this point, your parents begin slipping into one of their classic banters that to anyone else may look like an argument, but to you, you know it's just them and their way of showing how much they care about each other. They have always poked fingers. Because no matter what it sounds like, no matter what they're talking about, there's just smiles on both their faces as they hurl jabs left and right. Your sister and brother laughing as something gets a little bit inappropriate at times, but nothing above PG-13. It's good to be.
He's definitely just gonna enjoy the atmosphere, and every once in a while, just kind of look out the window as we get closer and closer to home.
The drive takes several hours. It's late into the night, probably 9, 10 o'clock. By the time you actually make your way home to your family's small ranch. The home is humble. It is a one-story ranch, though it is a very extended home. A little bit flat, but high enough ceilings. You can hear some cattle in the nearby land grazing off somewhere this very mild night. Your dad probably didn't have the attention span or the time to barn them up for this evening, but at least it's not cold, so they'll be fine and graze. You can hear the sounds of the rest of your family's modest chickens and scrolling about, resting up and roosting for the night. You can see a bit of that moonlight coming over the garden your mother takes such good time taking care of. You guys aren't necessarily wealthy, but you've always been comfortable. Your family's been very self-sufficient in that sense. But they lead you all in, and your family is just elated. There is bustling of activity as immediately your siblings want to yank you left and right to play with whatever game they have going on, despite your mother constantly chastising them. But you still feel that energy. You feel spring, actually. You feel great. But no matter what you happen to be doing, your mind always seems to be wondering, like, man, I'm hungry. When's dinner? And you find yourself actually starting to get a little irritated. In fact, to the point where, as your brother and you are playing a classic game of superheroes and is chasing you down, he makes a stumble. He actually pops you in the knee really hard, and immediately a spark of fury hits you. Sorry.
It's fine. I think I'm just a little angry.
Sorry. As you see your mom gonna poke her head, you're like, got dinner. You should just calm down. It was an accident.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Sorry. Just, I guess, a little more exhausted than I thought I was. What's the heat?
Alex, why don't you go take Ava and go wash up, and I think it's enough playing with your brother for now. We need to let him rest and try and recover from this, okay? Sorry, Mom. Sorry.
You're okay. Just go wash up. I'll meet you at the table.
He kind of looks at you with a bit of wide eye as he kind of grabs Ava by the sleeve, and they both go off towards the back and getting cleaned up.
He'll try his best to smile and reassure him and kind of hold back that anger.
That was sharp. Stress, hunger gets to a person, but that hurt. That annoyed you.
Never felt that before. I took a freaking cow to the face. And he's just going to go over and start setting up the dinner table to help out, almost a little too eagerly, slamming a few plates down every now and then without meaning to.
Your mom sees the enthusiasm, like, all right, easy. We're going to get you fed. I don't think you've been this excited for my food in years.
I mean, 3 days of sleep will do that to you, right?
Fair. You know what? Don't tell your father, but she lifts back the pot, and you can immediately see the steam come off this hearty Mexican rice, vegetables, sauce, spice, all mingled together. Your mom has never necessarily been a 5-star Michelin chef, but man, there's nothing that beats her cooking. It's just the nostalgia. She hands you the wooden spoon, just go on, take a few bites, just don't tell your dad.
Okay. And he grabs the spoon and just takes one huge bite.
A massive helping of rice, just piled high, you fit all in your mouth in one bite, you can chew it, and you just immediately, your brain's like, yeah, this is what I don't want. The moment that it hits your mouth, you try to swallow, you immediately hit the ground as you are trying to force yourself to swallow. You manage to get it down, but the moment it hits your stomach, your mom is beating on your back, thinking you're choking. You immediately vomit it onto the ground hard. It just splatters all over the ground as your body begins to just shake wide as, for some reason, every ounce of your body just did not want that.
Sorry.
Oh my god, are you okay? Was it too spicy? Was it too spicy?
No. It was good. It was good. It just.
She kind of rubs your back a bit as you're following up. I was like, "What's wrong, Ace? What happened? What happened? What? Oh wow, are you okay?"
Yeah, I think no solid food for 3 days might have shrunk my stomach a little bit. I'm just. Do you mind if I just get a plate and go to my room? Just eat it slowly.
Yeah, you know that's fine. You know that might be a good idea, right, hon? Your dad goes, you know what? Yeah, here. Why don't you go to your room, son? Just kind of clean up. We'll take care of this. You know, it's fine. You've been through a lot. I'll get you a plate and I'll bring you that. Okay.
Yeah,
eat slow, please.
Got it. And he's actually going to take a paper towel really quick and scoop up whatever he can and just kind of toss it on his way back to his room.
Stop. Let's take care of you for a minute. Just go. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. And he just goes to his room and just closes the door.
Close the door as you kind of sit down. What was that?
And what he's going to do, he's going to go over to his bed and lift his pillow and take out a little secret stash of like sour gummy worms.
Yep.
And he's going to open them up and try eating that.
Before you rip the box open and before you have a chance to grab into it, the smell. You can smell the sugar. You can smell the citric acid. That smell, you love that smell. But the moment your eyes look at that, you feel yourself leaning back away from it. Like this is revolting. But you stick your hand and take a fistful, cram it in your mouth and start chewing. You chew and chew. And immediately you can't even swallow it. The flavors that hit you just feel like it's ash in your mouth. You grab it in your bucket, you spit it out, and immediately just clawing at it to get it out of your mouth. That taste just has to go away.
Actually, if I may, what I'm going to do is just open my window and really quick spit it out there.
Down and
like
up.
Just spit it out the window. What the fuck?
At this point, you're holding on to the railing as this is infuriating. You're fucking hungry. You're not hungry. You're starving. You're starving so much that you just start to white knuckle the windowsill as you just kind of look out, just completely confused about what is going on. This makes no fucking sense. You've never heard anything like this. This can't be just from you being attacked, and then there's something that pierces through the darkness. It's very hard, heavy-sounding thud that's coming out from a nearby field, and you're transfixed by it. Not sure what it is. You're just, yeah, that sounds good. Something about that sounds good. You feel yourself leaning towards it. You want to go there.
And Acer, without really thinking, just kind of hops out the window and just follows that thumping noise.
You throw your legs over and hit the ground, barely recognizing that you hardly made a sound as you land, and you become not just walking, you start walking at a brisk pace, but then you start sprinting. You just parkour over the front fence, landing in the grass, just sprint right towards it, where you notice there's about 5 or 6 cattle just grazing in the moonlight, and now you hear those thuddings coming from these animals that like ring in your ear. What the hell? Are those heartbeats? One of the bulls look up to you, and these animals know you. You know they know you. They've actually always been very fond of you. And you look at them. This one very large bull, this wide rack of horn, looks at you. Immediately starts backing up away from you. The other herd look up and looking. They all start giving some distance to you and begin backing up.
And he's just gonna, as they back up, he's just gonna step forward and just be like, "Wrong place, wrong time, huh? And he's just gonna lunge at it.
Immediately you lunge for the biggest bowl, and it rears back in a massive as you begin chewing down onto the hide, but your teeth don't pierce anything, and it only drives that anger further as you begin not just chewing, you start tearing into it with your bare teeth. You bite down hard. It moves and bays in agony as you begin ripping and tearing at hide as like a ferocious animal. You find a soft spot and you bite down, and it feels something snap like a fire hose as fresh blood from arterial veins comes gushing out and towards your mouth, and you completely cover it with your mouth wide-eyed as you can feel this animal's blood fill you. There's a massive struggle as you are holding on to this creature. It throws you back and forth in agony before it finally hits the ground as you were just bear hugging this massive neck, just drinking from this now just mangled artery, just drinking profusely. It's not great. It doesn't taste as well as you wish it would be, but it's working. Oh, the more you drink this, the more you want this as you just continue to drink and drink. You drink more than you think you should be able to, but you keep going and going. Going. You don't know how long it takes, but you're not really aware of time right now. All you can think about is eventually this bull, your dad prized bull, stops making noises, stops kicking, stops struggling. The herd is long ran away from you. You don't even care. Then it stops breathing. You pull back slowly as you look down. You were just covered in animal blood. And you're still hungry, but not as hungry as you were. Still a little edge that you could probably have some more, but that's not your main focus as your thought becomes a bit clear of what the fuck did you just do?
Oh God, what the fuck is going on? What is wrong with me? I gotta get back. And at that point, he just kind of gets up and starts sauntering back over to his window.
The moment you turn around, you see your dad standing in the middle of the field with a shotgun in his hands. And he is wide-eyed as he looks at you, shaking.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
Come inside, son. Just... He walks very slowly towards you, the gun still in one hand as he reaches out towards you. Just take my hand. It's gonna be okay.
And he kind of reaches out for a second, only to realize that his hands are covered in blood before he pulls them back and just shrinks into himself, shaking a little bit, and just walks beside him, not looking at him, not making eye contact, just following wherever he leads him.
The next few days as your father brings you inside, go by in a blur. So it takes you a little bit to start piecing things together. Your family doesn't try and talk to you. Your mother and father don't let your siblings know what happened. They clean you up very quickly. They don't even let them see the laundry, which is just covered in gore. They don't talk about it at first, and they seem to almost tiptoe around the subject like you're a freak, but you know they care. For the next several days, you sleep all day. You can't wake yourself up, no matter how many alarms you put up, no matter how hard you try and get your family to wake you up, but you don't wake up during the day. But you do get to catch just the briefest hour of sunset, which is where you seem to wake up religiously, no matter how hard you try. Even with several alarms blaring as you wake up, it's like you wake up from the dead. All this is terrifying, but nothing becomes more fearful than on the third day of rising through the stupor, you kind of just pull the curtain back a little bit just to watch the sunset again. But you pull it just a little too far back. As all of a sudden, a bit of sunlight flares across your face, and it feels like you're just blasted with a magnified ray of light, and it burns. You see them just claw back, you knock over tech, things just knock out, you just scrabble back in a panic against the wall, your body moving against your will as you just cling to the wall behind you, shaking in fear of what you just felt. Something primal tugs you away in a panic without even you consciously realizing it, and you look at your hand as you see sharpened nails digging into the wall. As there are claw marks left behind. Slowly pull your shaking hand back towards you as the nails slowly retract and you feel yourself calming down, just as that sun begins to peek down below the horizon. Your mind begins to reel. This ain't real. This is the shit that you read in manga, in comic books, in movies, in anime, in pop culture. This doesn't exist. This doesn't exist, right?
I'm still in a coma. That's what's going on, right? Yep, that's what's going on. I'm still in a fucking coma. Yes. I'll wake up.
Look towards the mirror as you pace, talking to yourself, as you see right diagonally across your face. It looks like a 3rd-degree burn just tore itself like a straight line. And you watch as that flesh lightens, the burn fading, and the skin returning back to normal right before your very eyes in a moment. And the moment it does, the skin heals. The hunger gets a bit worse. What does your mind think of when you see this happen to yourself?
Acer is thoroughly scared. He is trying to think of every logical possibility of what could be happening. First, he thinks coma. Definitely still in the coma, but not possible. He felt pain. Well, it's a disease. Some people can't stay out in the sun or they burn. Well, those kinds of diseases don't pop up. You have to be born with it, so that's out of the question. And he's going through every single little thing until he finally gets to the ridiculous idea of him just being like, I drink blood, I can't be out in the freaking sunlight, I'm up at night all the time, It's like I'm a fucking vampire.
The moment those words leave your lips, you hear one of your family members walking by your room. The word vampire. Something in you clicks as you hear their heartbeat. You hear a small heartbeat. You hear your brother's heartbeat beating faster due to his size. And there's a small bit of you that just thinks, I want to taste that. There's a small whisper of that. That sounds pretty good right now. You snap back of it almost instantaneously. What the hell were you just thinking?
No. Shut up. I gotta tell them. I gotta warn them. And then he's just gonna go over to his door and he's just gonna open it and he's gonna go straight to his parents' room and he's gonna knock on the door.
Your mother does open the door as it is later in the evening at this point. Everyone is just starting to bed down as your father looks at you and you can see the same fear and worry on his face that hasn't left for 3 days straight. Your mom's eyes red and puffy. You've heard her crying every night since this happened. They try to be quiet. They try to stifle it, but you hear it every night. And they both look at you just wide-eyed and they actually look afraid of you.
Guys, I think I'm a demon. I'm a fucking vampire.
Your father looks out just to make sure that your brother and sister's room are closed. He pulls you inside, closes the door. What the hell are you talking about? You're just sick. I just opened my window, and
freaking ray of sunshine just burned my face.
You know what? You've always gotten bad sunburns before. You know, maybe that tweaker injected you with something. You know how like people can get AIDS and HIV from a nut job.
Third-degree burns, Dad.
You look fine.
He's gonna go over to the curtains. Does it look like there's still some sun out?
From this angle, there's still a tiny bit of light that funnels in.
Just watch this, okay? Just...
Oh, God. You try to reach for it, and you immediately actually freeze. Like a statue. You feel this... You feel so scared right now. There's this overwhelming fear of what you know you're about to do, but it's like your body is fighting you to do it. You look at your own hand as you were telling it to move, damn it, and it doesn't want to. And you throw it in front suddenly, like a slingshot was just released, and immediately you feel that burn come across your hand as smoke begins to sizzle off the back of your arm. You rear back in pain and agony. Your mom is back on the bed. She crossed herself and she immediately starts praying in Spanish. Your dad is just wide-eyed, shaking his head, just speechless, looking at the exact same way that he saw you in the pasture.
And then with the same motion, like, try and heal it. He doesn't know how it works. But,
you begin picturing in your mind of this going away. Like, this pain hurts so fucking bad. This hurts more than anything you've ever felt, and you want it to just go away. And then it starts doing so. Your hand is just scarred red, like you had just stuck your hand in a blazing furnace. It pulled back, just barbecued flesh, but it begins to fade right before your very eyes as you slowly hold your shaky hand up to your father. And within a moment, it's just the same skin and the pain is gone. And you get even a little hungrier. You feel that gnawing at your gut. Very acutely aware of both your parents' heartbeats. You could even smell the faintest trace of blood on your father's hands from working in the field. Splinters and cuts of the smallest proportions. You can smell it. And you want to taste it. But grit your teeth as you lean back, steeling yourself, but that smell never leaves you.
Please tell me one of you has an explanation for this. Because I don't.
You both look to each other. Your mom just nods her head, looking to your daughter as she just continues to hold on to a very small little cross on the neck and just continues to pray. Dad, you see his hands trembling as he very slowly walks towards you. Every step, that heartbeat getting louder. The smell getting more powerful. Puts his hands up. You feel yourself backing up. But then you feel something burn as the light is right behind you. You can't walk back any closer.
Dad.
Stand up.
Please.
Ace.
Back up.
Ace, listen to me. Listen to your father. He doesn't use that tone very often. It irritates you. What is this? You're stronger than him. How dare he talk down to you like this?
Shut up.
As he said to be closer, if you need to listen to me, if you're listening right now, words leave his mouth again. Oh, the first thing that flashes in your mind is how easy it'd be just to snap his neck. Just rip him open.
Shut up.
But it's like an animal talking down to you. How dare he do this to you?
I need to go to my room. I need to lock myself away.
You feel his hands touch your shoulders, and you look up in a panic as that eye on your left stings as it flares red at him, and he looks back at you. You can actually see your own reflection in his glasses as one of your eyes just flare glowing red at him. But he holds on to you. It's easy. Shh. You can feel him shaking. You could smell the fear on him. But he holds you at your shoulders. Shh. Whatever this is, if your possessed, if you're sick, or even if you are my son. You are my son. You can see tears begin to roll down his face as you start to calm a little. You feel this amount of emotion start bubbling up in your throat. Some of your senses pierce through this haze you keep rushing into. You are my son. We are a family, right? We're a family. We've always looked after each other. We've always had each other's backs, right?
Yeah.
You help me with text so I don't give money to a Nigerian prince, and I make sure you talk to girls, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
No matter what, you're my boy. And we're gonna be here for you now. No matter what this is, you're sick. Okay? I just actually said at you. You're just sick. And we're gonna help you. We're gonna do what moms and dads do. We're gonna take care of our boy, okay? We're gonna take care of you. Figure this out. Luckily, God's clever in that way. This is gonna happen to somebody. At least it happened to somebody that owns a ranch, right? I got lots of blood to give you, boy. Go to your room. Me and your mother we do some talking. We're gonna make a game plan. We're gonna figure this out. Okay? We can beat this. No matter what. We're gonna beat this as a family.
Kind of holding himself, just walk off and just go lock himself in his room.
You are very acutely aware that as you walk by, your dad keeps a hand on your shoulder, almost steadying you the entire walk as he very silently just lets you slink off into your prison, into your cage, as you lock yourself inside. This is where you sit down at your computer, just acutely aware of clear tear on one eye, bloody tear on the other, as that red light fades from the left eye. So you sit down in front of a darkened computer screen and turn it on. And you hit the record button for the first time.
I don't even know what day it is. This is Acer Soren. First recording. In case things go wrong. Damn it! And the rest of the recording is just him just sobbing.
You fade out from this night. But not just one night. Many nights. Recordings 2, 3, 5, 25, 50, 360, 480. The days just keep going. Over the next weeks to months, year and a half now. To say that you've slipped into madness, that's a compliment. Your room no longer holds the nerdish charm. The manga and your anime have all been put away. Frivolous things that you do for enjoyment, you need your dad to pack that up. You didn't want to destroy it. You wanted to hold on to it when you fix this. You're going to come back to it when you fix this. You're going to do all the things that you missed when you fix this. You're going to fix this. Every day it's the same routine of you wake up and you make another recording about how you feel. Some days you're doing pretty good. Other days you're not. Other days you don't hardly recognize yourself the next day when you watch the recording back, and it's like staring at a completely different person. One evening actually, you're smiling and you're hopeful, and you found some tucked away lore somewhere on the internet. You've been having Dark go find all this kind of crazy, weird stuff, digging as deep as he could into mythologies and legends and myth, all the while just feigning this mask that it's just for some big hobbyist project you kind of been obsessed with. And you roll with his punches, but there's some days where he just throws a taunt at you and you have to almost break a corner of your desk off, have to run your fist through a fucking screen because of how much you want to hurt him, how angry you feel. And it passes, the guilt starts to set in. It's just this Groundhog Day of euphoria to anger to hunger to guilt to elation and hope and eureka and then crushing soul, crushing failure over and over again. You hit the record button on day 500. It's been exactly half of 1,000 days since you admitted to yourself this affliction's not even a good enough word for it. This curse. This hell. This is not a good day for you. At this point, there's just been glass after pitcher after gallon of vessels of animal blood just sitting on your desk, on your nightstand. You don't even have sometimes enough strength to look out that window again, just to see a little bit of that sunset, just to give you hope. You're tired of hope as you hit that recording button again.
Day 500. I don't even care anymore. It's the same thing over and over. It's just one big fucking loop. We've tried everything. Splashed holy water on me. Got a priest to recite a few verses. Nothing works. Nothing's ever gonna work. I'm stuck with this curse. Till death. Till death. I live forever. The sun could do it. It could end everything. Yeah. That's it. I'm not going down this way. I'm not gonna live forever as a fucking thing. Come the morning, this is my last recording. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna fucking end it all. There's no point in it anymore, right? I mean, what's the fucking point? I'll tell you, there's no point. Every fucking day, every time I wake up, I drink more and more and more, and that stupid goddamn voice will never shut up. It's always there, it's always talking to me, it's always lurking. And he just kind of sits there in silence before turning off the camera.
But as you reach toward the camera, about to shut it down, the last recording you ever made, you look as you see a message pops up in the front of your computer. It's from Dark. What does this asshole want now?
Message.
Dark Master, bitch boy. Look. You ignored like the past dozen messages. I found something cool. You know what? You don't want to know where I was digging around as you're reading through the text. But I found something. Someone reached out to me. Someone that seems to be really interested in what you're talking about. And I thought you might want to see this. Check the attachments, dumbass. When are we going for drinks? You stood me up. Day 500 of you owing me dinner. Peace out.
Dark, I'm gonna fucking drink you when this is over. I'm calm. I'm cool. And I'm gonna look at the attachment to see what he gave.
You open up the attachment, and it's about 100 pages worth of document. It appears to be almost photocopied, very crappy cursive. Something you almost write out for a moment, but then you get about halfway through the second page when you're about to just waste this away and throw it in the trash bin, and a word catches your mind. The affliction of kindred. Scroll some more words down. You see a mesh of a thinning of the blood. They're walking between the lines. Maybe it can be cured. Then you begin to now become very interested as you lean forward. You begin reading further and further. This is written like a scientific journal. Someone's been studying this. This is information that someone wrote. It's a log. It's a log of experimentation, recipes, alchemical formulas, chemicals. In the 500 days you've been with this, you've been reading through every chemistry book, every mathematical book, every physical book, therapy even, everything you can look for medicine. You've been bombarding yourself with information to try and get behind it. Nothing has ever mentioned these kind of words. Nothing ever mentions something so clear and direct. So you keep going. There are formulas. There are ingredients. These ingredients, they're so simple. You have these in your house. You could do this right now. You don't have necessarily as advanced of equipment, but what's a beaker? Just a piece of tempered glass. Your dad's got that in the shop. What's a Bunsen burner? You can use a stove. You just need some stirret, a way to keep these things moving, to dilate it, to evaporate it and refine it. Injection. You could do this. You could do this right now. It would take you a few hours, but it's so simple in front of you.
Log 500. Forget everything I just said. New information just came to me. Dark, if you ever see this, which I hope you don't, fucking love you. Ingredients. I need ingredients. I need the stuff. And he's going to turn off the camera, and the next time he turns it back on, it's the next day, and he just starts recording. This is it. I gathered everything. I mixed it according to the formula. Sorry. Procedure. Log 501. Date. September 3rd. This is it. This is fucking it. Okay? This is gonna give me my life back. It says right here, once everything is mixed and it was bathed in the sun, I just need to take this and put it
into your heart.
In my heart. Fuck it, I'm a vampire. It's not like it matters. Okay. This is it. Today, I cure myself.
As we slowly begin to zoom out ever so slightly towards the window of this projection against the wall, you watch as Acer holds up a makeshift syringe with a hollowed out needle made out of an old nail. Sterile? Fucking cares, he's dead anyway. As he holds in front of him, straight to the chest, hard, even as he pushes the makeshift plunger down, just as that door behind him begins to open. As you hear Alex, "Hey, bro, I got your dinner, bro."
Alex, get
No, I brought you food. As you hear him trip, like you hear glass shattering, as those that could watch this log would see his brother trip and fall off some leftover debris on the floor, off some clutter, as glass has cut open his hands. Ow! Shit! Ow! 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 And Acer, smell it. That eye immediately flushes a bright red on that camera as you can see blackened veins jut straight up towards his face. His lips purl back into a feral snarl as Acer, for the first moment, the moment that injection hits your system, you feel your skin harden, you feel your jaw clench, your lips pull back into a snarl, and your mind goes empty, quiet for the first time. Thank God, in 500 days. But then the silence was broken as you hear one little voice in your mind. One voice you will soon come to know as your greatest enemy. And it slowly whispers in your mind. Take him.
Alex. Run.
As Acer lunges for him.
You see on this recording as Acer spins around the chair so fast, the chair is thrown off screen as, like a predator, he dives upon his brother. You can't see him, but you hear the sounds of tearing flesh. You can hear the sounds of arterial bleed as Alex begins to scream in agony as his own brother descends upon the younger, trying to consume him. He fights and struggles, but no matter how hard the small child tries to crawl away, this monster, this beast, simply grabs him and pulls him back in, going closer and closer, biting him over his body, every extremity, every limb. You can hear the sounds of crunching bone and tearing flesh as Acer goes towards the neck for the kill. You hear, "What the hell's going on?" as you see coming out from the doorway, wielding the shotgun that was held the first night. You see Ethan, Acer's father, is, "Don't let me do it!" As there's a bright flash of the muzzle and the sound of a gunshot, as pellets rip and tear through Acer and destroy the camera behind him, sending the video into static. You pull back. Crescent and Medico, you were watching this with Acer.
As soon as it goes static, he pauses it and just stares at the static.
I'm gonna walk over to him, which is it's kind of a slow walk, but then just go over and then just hug him. I'm sorry that happened.
That was the day I hated every kindred, myself included.
So where are they now? I'm assuming gunshot didn't do anything?
Actually, my arm came off with that shot.
Seems to be a habit with you.
At least it snapped you back to your senses long enough for you to get the hell out of there.
I left that night.
Have they seen you since?
Only through mail. Sent them letters.
Ava has was the last person to see you in person.
And the last person to see me is now currently in the hospital.
That was your sister, wasn't it? Is she still in the hospital?
Possession can take a lot out of a person.
I'm not looking at medical.
You do feel your ears burning a little bit, but Medico does for a moment. She does kind of kneel next to Crescent, next to you, and lays her head on your shoulder. Now it kind of all makes sense why you understood my story so easily.
Yeah, well, He kind of rewinds it a bit to the point where his eyes were glowing red and the black veins appeared. It's kind of hard to really take a look at that and tell yourself, yeah, that's you. That's what you did. That's what you'll be for eternity. Shuts off the projector. I was hoping that gunshot would have done it. After what I did to Alex. Nope. Turns out, that thing I injected into my heart was not the cure. Because that is what gave me the resistance that you, normal kindred, have. Made me worse. Not better.
Sick joke in the back of your mind, whether you say so or not. You always kind of realize that had you not tried to fuck around with yourself and take care of something you truly did not understand, that gunshot probably would have killed you. Probably would have done it in.
It's funny. I literally just had to sit there and do nothing. All of this would have been over. I arrogantly thought that I knew what the formulas were, thanks to my mom being a doctor. I stubbornly thought that I could take whatever the hell this formula was, and I mauled my little brother for it. I hurt my family, and I nearly killed one of them. That is why. That is why I hated myself. But past is the past, right? Let me... And he kind of just messes with the remote. Show you guys the real reason I put those things up there.
So what about your sire? You still want to find him? Kind of sounds like a dick, but...
In the beginning I did, because the deeper I dug, the more rumors began to surface, and with each rumor, a new test, a new experiment.
Us kindred have a rumor too. Again, just a rumor, but it's said that if a thin blood kills their sire, they go back to being human.
That's the one. That's the one I came across. So, I hid everything I could from Dark. Had him help me pinpoint anyone who was out at night, assaulting people, weird disappearances. In my stupid head, I thought that, you know what? Vampire, right? Can't be a lot of them. Hiding amongst the people, all these people. Probably like, what, small clan? Nope. Turns out they run the fucking city. Possibly the continent. This entire time I was looking for a needle in a haystack, and I didn't even know it. Just jumping from haystack to haystack to haystack.
I mean, there's ways to find them. You know who to ask.
There is. However, now I have a different dilemma. Because you see, before I met you and Grayson, I fucking hated every single one of your kind.
No offense, Acer, but I kind of got that impression.
And
I don't think we started bonding until Sun came into the picture. And then we both hated her, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Oh, it went far deeper than that. But after talking to you, seeing what you and Grayson are like, and ironically, because of you, meeting her, and I point to Medico.
She just kind of awkwardly waves. So she still just kind of rests her head on your shoulder, Acer.
She was the one that made me see differently. She was the one that made me try and give you specifically a chance. And when I did, I found myself with a dilemma. Because see, now I don't hate you. I don't hate Grayson. I don't hate Kindred. I'm maybe even starting not to hate myself.
You're pretty likable. When you're not hating on other people.
But now there's no drive left. Once I find him, what do? Kill him? I don't know his story. I don't know how he got that way. I don't know if he's stuck that way. I'm feeling sympathy for the man that ruined my entire fucking life, and in turn made me into this thing that attacked my family. I should have every right to hate him, but I'm starting not to, because now the only question in my head is his story like ours? And I'm afraid to find out the truth, because if it is, even if I find him, I can't kill him. So yeah, that book has everything since the very first formula I jabbed into my heart. Every failed experiment, every lead, even the formula for the pills that I have. Because that's the only way I can use any of my abilities. In a way, the legacy of my failure.
Do you believe that things happen for a reason?
I used to. I guess living this long makes you doubt a couple things. And hell, I'm not even the oldest kindred out there.
No, you're not.
Now I found out that your sire is dealing with a different issue.
Yeah.
After hearing your story, I know what a family should be. If you really believe her to be one of yours, how can I not help?
Yeah, so she's the closest thing I have to a mom.
Well, then I have some work to do.
I still think she's a crazy, manipulative, psychotic bitch. But for you, she kind of like tilts her head over and just smiles at you, kind of exhausted. I'll help anything any way I can to. If she touches you, I'm turning her into ash.
We're trying to prevent that.
I'm just giving you my upfront warning.
I would love your help.
She smiles, nodding. Well, I gotta say one thing, Presley. She looks to Acer, rests her head on his shoulder again. I understand, just in the smallest chance outside of my control, if something does happen. She looks over at the still frame of Acer, right before he tears into his own sibling. Don't let me look like that. Please. Don't let me become that. And that, for now, we pull out of this moment in time. I'd like to thank my wonderful players for bearing with me as those scenes got very heavy. See, in the world of darkness, we are monsters. But there's a beauty in trying to figure out what to do with yourself when you are truly a monster. Watching it how it corrupts, diving in to the deepest parts of philosophy, and really discovering what you might actually be okay with, no matter how horrible it might be. And at the root of it, despite how tragic and horrible it might become, isn't that one of the deepest, most primal forms of humanity? Oh, great questions that we always strive to answer with these things. I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, I do appreciate this. I appreciate this opportunity that you all have kind of helped with us. I appreciate the support that Derek has helped fuel us with. And frankly, my biggest love and thanks will always go to my players. At the end of the day, there is no content without them. It would just be me talking really moodily into a camera and really looking like a nut job, more than I already do. And I've been losing my voice for no reason, which is actually kind of happening right now. That last gunshot moment almost threw my voice out. But I love you guys. I really do appreciate what you suffer through, and I know sometimes this game can push you guys to the brink and beyond, and you guys have to white knuckle sometimes the emotional trauma that comes with it. But from the bottom of my heart, it gives me something to look forward to every Sunday to run this with you guys. It gives me something to look forward to do D&D with you guys, and I just appreciate all of you guys. So thank you for letting me be a part of this. So for now, everyone, as we close out this wonderful segment, make sure you protect each other, lock your doors. So the thing we learned from tonight, that new boyfriend with that devil's smile, or even just standing at a bus stop after the interview of a lifetime. Your life could be taken away at a moment's notice. Just like that. Wrong place, wrong time. So lock your doors. Protect each other. Watch each other's backs out there in the dark. Rest well. As always, God bless you. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you all next time. Good night.